It's game day! Well, you've heard of Super Saturday. Well, here we are today on Fabulous Friday. Fantastic Friday.
I like it.
I'm Donnie Bell. Dave McRae, what alliteration have you got for us, mate?
Mate, it's just Friday night football. It's great that we've finally got a double on Friday night at the top end and in WA as well. We've got a men's and women's double as well. Top of the table clash here in the NT, of course, and then we're heading down for a delicious contest between the Roosters and the Rabbits down here in the West. But, mate, as I see some teams running out now, we're not allowed to mention one particular thing that happened on the weekend, Dave.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not?
No.
Why not?
We might just slide that in.
Well, I don't see why we can't mention the fabulous state championship victory at the Cast Championship.
The Cast Championship.
For Western Australia, undefeated in both men's and women's. Absolutely sensational. Western Australia on top of the combined affiliated states and territories world.
Should be. Everything's coming up WA at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. So getting the Bears, getting the Cast Championship. It's a good time to be involved in rugby league if you're in the state of Western Australia. But right now we're at the top end with the brothers taking on the Bears. And I've been waiting a long time for these two teams to play each other, Don.
Well, round 3 was the last time they met. It was Litchfield getting a 30-22 win that day, and that was a pretty good contest between these two classy outfits. Both equal on top of the table on 12 competition points. The Bears, they hold top spot at the moment, just through 4 and against, and they've got first use of the ball. And brothers straight away looking to muscle up. Connor Williams in the tackle, and they give away the penalty on first play.
That's not a good start.
Well, that's a big leg up for the Bears, because these two teams will definitely try and impose their physicality early in this game, although an interesting touch finder. Bears somehow end up with the ball. Flanagan comes up with it. So now the Bears getting up towards the 40-metre line. Flanagan into dummy half. They crash up over the 40-metre line. A good tackle down low. Warrison drives in with the shoulder with a good shot. Now Burgess. Rolled over onto his back. Brothers controlling the speed of the ruck. Flanagan, though, he catches the markers. Not square. Saw numbers and took off. Took a good 10 metres as the Bears get to their kick. Kicking down into a corner. And a good first set from Litchfield. It's now brothers. We get to see what they can do with the ball. Still got a few coming back on side, which are not the best of signs in the first set of the game. He's getting a little tangled up there, Nathan Dixon. Gets away with it on this occasion in this tackle again, but clears the ruck a little bit more cleverly as Warrison. So what he could do without the ball, takes a carry there. Not quite as effective, but that's a pretty effective run back in behind the ruck. So now brothers. Northern plays the ball, it comes back to Kernoth for the boot. He tried to trap it with the boot there, but got a kind bounce there, Cook. Didn't quite get to the flight of the ball. So now the Bears through Mullins. Stepping into Warrison. Kernoth in the tackle as well. He'll slow it down. Morecambe plays it, goes to Dixon. Dixon tips it onto Hall. Hall finds his front. Will get a decent play of the ball. Flanagan on the back of that. Picks up a runner. Coming in behind the ruck goes Morecambe. Well, after the first penalty, both teams have got into their work, Dave. Just
a workman-like set there, although good kick return.
Antonio
Great kick return, still going.
Stripped one-on-one.
Oh, yes.
Well, there was a lot of good footy in there. Antonio James with the kick return, and then Nathan Dixon strips it from him right at the last moment before the referee called hurl. So that gives the Bears the first real attacking opportunity. There's Burgess driven backwards. Well, the whistle's gone for a penalty. There's some confused looking brothers.
What did you say there, Don? Offside?
Well, it must have been offside.
Yeah,
that's where the penalty is. I was worried it was for a dangerous tackle. There wasn't much wrong with the tackle. Tomes. He goes across now to Drayton. Drayton finds some space in behind. Antonio James, the fullback, plugs a hole needed to. Flanagan, well, he almost missed that ball. It comes across to Jacobson. He didn't like the first option, so takes the tackle. And now another penalty. A little bit of work on the face.
Well, this is a bit unlike the brothers early on.
Giving away a few as Burgess takes the hit up. Runs into Nicky, who holds on around the ball. Now they come out from Drayton, goes out to Dixon. Dixon looked to the outside. Didn't like what was out there, so takes on the line. Warrison and Kernoth up to the task. They shift out to the wing. They found a bit of space, but brothers adjust well. The bouncing ball just gave them enough time to get across. Dodgy play the ball. There's a settler now for the Bears, lifting the leg there, Warrison. So now to Drayton. Drayton short ball, trying to hit the hole. Burgess is again rolled around onto his back. The defensive brothers has been good.
Oh, he's done a hammy, has he?
He's holding down a bit lower on the calf, but we'll keep an eye on that as the grubber in behind into the in goal and will be taken over the dead ball line.
Great set, Don. Great set.
Well, great defensively. Yeah. It was patient attack from the Bears. Good footy all round. Got a high quality game.
Held up really well here. There's nothing else he could have done with that.
The goal line dropout. So pressure is going to continue, but we do have. It is Burgess that stayed down, I think, the front rower for Litchfield. Not sure if we've got Kyle Fauntleroy on comms yet.
Yeah, we've got a crew of three up there. Evening, boys. G'day. How are you, Kyle? It's fresh from your debut as being an international football caller, mate. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks, mate. Still recovering. It was a great session to call the AFC Asian Cup here at TRL Stadium, and certainly a momentous moment for the actual stadium itself. Being an all-purpose stadium, and great to see some international football played here, and as I expect, more to come to utilise this great facility. But not talking about soccer tonight. We're here to talk about rugby league, and mate, been looking forward to this game. I'm sure there's a lot of our viewers have been. It's 1v2. Obviously Bears sitting on top. Both are matched on points, as you said earlier. So a win tonight will obviously put either of these sides into the top place. But key missings for today's fixture: the captain Trent Wedding for the Bears is no here tonight. So David Jacobson taking on the captain role, and certainly an experienced player to do so. And also Aaron Pollard from the Darwin brothers also missing.
A couple of key outs, and Litchfield losing their front rower early will put some pressure on them. As Jacobson gets the wide pass, but again the sliding cover defensive brothers up to it. Although I think he's got into the corner, has he?
No,
he's going to point to the spot and blow. That's a try, a fantastic finish from Ben Mullins. Well, I didn't think he was a chance. He was no hope. He was over the sideline. Somehow he's held his width. He's held his body inside the field of play. Let's have a look.
I mean, he had to go from a standing start. I think he was. Oh, Japers, I tell you what.
Well, the referee, touch judge, they're in good position, and they've awarded the try.
We might have been blindsided as well by a couple of legs.
It's hard to see exactly when he gets the ball on the ground, because he does go out, but he was over the line by the time he did go out. Referee in perfect position to see that. And Litchfield get the first score of the day.
There was a lot asked of him as well, because he went from the standing start. Before he had the ball, they were coming at him. So he had to hold his ground, duck inside. No, they were going to come to push him over. Still managed to hold himself up and out and get over the line. Referee for tonight, Donald, is from Queensland. It's Ben Kavanagh from Queensland. Touch judges, Toby Parrott from New South Wales and local Toby Manziak.
Well, the conversion attempt, they don't get much tougher than this. Looks pretty good off the boots. Oh, just slams into that left-hand upright and waved away. But early doors, it is Litchfield leading 4 points to 0 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. Go down to Kyle. Or up to Kyle in the up the top, but
up, down, left, right.
Yeah, absolutely. Brothers, they've given away a few penalties early. Not like them. They're usually a fairly disciplined side.
Yeah, it's quite unusual to see. I was quite surprised by those first penalties, particularly the second one. Obviously, a bit of contact in the ruck. It was the call by the referee, an experienced referee in that, coming from Queensland. But yeah, a little discipline. They've got their coach back tonight. So Leon Keel back in the rain. It has been away for a few weeks, so he'll be disappointed with the brothers' start. But you never count out the brethren.
The brethren. I like it.
Absolutely not. I mean, that's one thing we have seen from brothers all season is that they keep going the full 80. You're going to have to play 80 minutes if you're going to beat them. Litchfield again getting to their kick. It's Antonio James. Breaks through one, breaks through two. Always a handful. And his first two carries have been impressive. He was stripped at the end of his first one, gets a penalty at the end of his second one.
Just returning the favour there. That's his second good carry, kick return. Managed to get that through. This time he didn't get stripped though, which was good.
Well, now we get to see brothers on the attack for the first time tonight. They've really tried to aim up physically, I think, in this opening 5 minutes or so. And again, a touch finder that hasn't actually found touch. It got a touch from one of the Bears players before it went out. So both teams know that they're going to have to bite off every single millimetre to win this game.
Oh, good line speed.
And the Bears right up in the face there of Northam. Now to Kernoff. Kernoff goes wider, a double pump. Comes out now to James. James goes back infield. Bang! And he is hit solidly. Now Nicky out of dummy half. Was always going to go, but the Bears offside. They saw the threat at dummy half and they wanted to get up in his face and not allow him time to wind up. Unfortunately, they give away the penalty. Another 6 tackles coming. So they tap and go. Tupou. Play it now back to Williams. Now Northam to Kernoff. Kernoff goes wider. Colton gets it out wider still and they dive into the corner.
Is he down?
He is down and they return the favour.
Going from point to point, Don.
We might have to get the try scorer's name there. I've got name withheld as my number 2. I don't know if you've got the try scorer's name.
One of the standouts, boys. One of the standouts for 2024, Hayden Riggs.
Hayden Riggs.
Score trying machine last year, so no surprise him getting over the line.
And almost a mirror image there, Don and Kyle. So deep in their own zone, penalty, score off their first. A real opportunity inside, opposition territory. So they're going tit for tat at the moment.
Well, again, it gives you a bit of an indication as to the sort of game that we're likely to see. I mean, 30-22 last time they met. That they've both got the ability to score a lot of points. Yep. So some quality attacking at rugby league, but also, the defence has forced them to go out as wide as possible to try and find those points. They've had to stretch the defence to be able to get across. And another difficult conversion attempt how important goal kicking might be throughout the course of this one. Caleb Nicky. Saw the Nathan Dixon attempt hitting the post and waved away. Can Brothers give themselves the lead for the first time in the match? Moves in. Looks to be out to the left and is waved away. So we're at 4-all on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. We have another look at the try to Hayden Riggs. And again, very similar to the first try in that he had a fair bit of work to do. There was two Bears players sliding across hard, but he managed to hold his shape, stay in the field of play, and get the ball down. And they strike back pretty quickly after conceding the first. And Brothers, they go straight through from the kickoff. A great run here.
Still going.
Elijah Kearns, just impossible to put down. He's up over halfway. They'll follow up now with Northam. Northam spins out of the tackle. Well, Bears are going to have to work on their first up contact. They're missing too often early in this game, although Nicky proves a liar of me as the Bears really whack him and drive him into the turf. Northam another carry into Flanagan. Gets a quick play of the ball. Out the back it goes. From Kernoth, it hits the deck. It's swooped upon by the Bears and away goes Simons. Simons will be run down from behind by Riggs.
Not enough toe.
Well, he did well to get to the ball and all of a sudden this game swung. Hall out a dummy half. He gets the offload away. Now the Bears spinning. Morecambe will play it. Back to Flanagan. Mahood. Always a handful. Can bust a tackle, but just finds his front for a quick play of the ball. Drayton. Drayton with footwork. Gets the offload away. Back to Mahood. Mahood towards the line. Reaches out. Can't get the ball to the ground. He's just short. Flanagan fires it out to the left. They're up quickly. There's numbers here for the Bears. They've got to score. They will score. Well, he took his time to put that down, but he does eventually get it to the ground, and the Bears, they go out to an 8-4 lead. Kick to come on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard.
That was it's Axe here on the sideline, mate.
Yeah, go Axe. Go ahead, mate.
End, sorry. Looks like Burgess is rested on the bench. I did catch a word with him as he came off. He's spending a bit of time with the trainer, but he said he's looking to come back on very, very soon.
Thanks for that, Axe. Actually, exactly what we need down there, mate. I was just about to say, Don, that was just textbook rugby league. Just the hit up through the middle. He dragged, I don't know how many he dragged with him to create that space, and then to overlap. They could have had a raffle there. They could have had a picnic. I mean, you said it in the call. They have to score. Had the numbers. Again, it was all that lead-up play, right in the guts. Dragged all the defenders with him. Created that space. And, man, we're going end-to-end. I love this. This is awesome.
Well, I mean, it's pretty fitting that Simons was the one that finishes off the try as well. He was the one that took the intercept in the first instance to put the Bears on the front foot. And then finishes it in the corner. Well, they created space, but it was the offload in the play beforehand, I think, from Benny Drayton to Mahood. Mahood dragged in a lot of the Brothers players, and there was plenty of space out to the left, and they just had to get the ball there. I think it was Kernoth that raced up out of the line for Brothers to try and cut it off. Wasn't able to do that, and as soon as they got outside him,
he saw that coming. I mean, he saw to his right, he had nothing there, so it was an all-or-nothing play, wasn't it? But the carries and the lead-up from the Bears, keeping the arms free, protecting the ball, I mean, they dished it off. That's not a bad effort. Just falls short. They dished it off in contact 2 times the lead up to that. So we see it again here. There it is. He's come up. So it was a all or nothing. He knew he had to come up because he had 3 on his right there. In the end, dobs it down and a bit of a spectacular leg throw.
Indigenous Allied Health Australia.
Well, it's been a really entertaining 15 minutes. We'll go to Kyle. Either one of these teams going to get sick of scoring points, mate?
Oh, look, hard to say. Again, I'm quite surprised by this start from Brothers. I don't think we've seen this all year. They haven't looked quite composed as they usually are. And there you see an error from the Bears, now an opportunity for the Brothers. But yeah, not the usual football that we've seen from the Darwin Brothers, but plenty to go in this first half. I'm sure they'll come around to their usual standards. But yeah, I've been a little bit surprised with the opening 20 minutes.
Well, a seesawing contest continues with Mahood making the error straight from the kickoff. Gives Brothers a chance to once again lock us up. We get towards the quarter-way mark of this contest. Been enthralling so far as Seaton Kernoff bounced out of the first, then put down. Aaron Kernoff. Now comes across with Nicky. Nicky bounces away from one, tries to steamroll over another.
He's in his way.
He's left the print on Packham's forehead. Now Nicky. Caleb Nicky. Play it back to Williams. They go towards the middle. Standing in the tackle, trying to come up with a one-on-one strip here is Jensen, but can't come up with the ball. Now they go to Nicky. Dropped on the boot there by Kernoff, and it just sits up into the bread basket for the Bears. Well, that was fortuitous more than anything else. It does well to hold it. And Bears, well, they survived that little raid from Brothers.
Good defence from the Bears. There's a couple of passes there where the ball carrier is in two minds. Had to change direction. Good defensive set, giving them no space. They just, I don't necessarily buy into the fact they're a bit rattled, but they just seem like things necessarily aren't going their way at the moment. They still look like they're still moving the ball cleanly. They're just trying to force something to happen.
And the Bears, they get to their kick.
Another good set.
It was a tired set, but they are, again, Brothers are away down the left-hand touchline, going back infield for Tai. They can attack from absolutely anywhere.
And that's the thing the Brothers can do. They can just turn it on, can't they? Flick a switch.
And Nicky out of dummy half as they're right on the front foot. Their kick returns have been sensational. James with a couple. And McKaylee for Tai there.
Well, it's the only way they're breaking the defensive line at the moment. It's those kick returns.
Let's see what they've got at the back end of this set. Put down. Just 20 metres out from the Litchfield line. As Nicky, dummies on the outside, goes himself looking for a runner. Still looking for a runner. Might not need one. A touch there from the Bears. That should be play on and 6 more. No, he's gone fifth and last. He's missed the touch there from the Bears, so they come to the final play. Kernoff goes out to Seaton Kernoff. That bounces off the backside of a Bear to an offside player.
Well, that's a bit of just reserts there, I reckon.
Well, the rugby league gods get involved and give Brothers another set of 6 that they deserve.
Yeah, a bit of justice served there for that miss by the referee.
Look, it's easy for us up here in behind camera.
We've got a lot of advantages. The referee's got one angle.
Northern from the Darwin Brothers set to come on.
Thanks, Axe.
Colton out to Nicky. Nicky in and away. Beats 1. Beats 2. Beats 3. Towards the line.
Gosh, he's tough.
And the Bears get numbers in there just to prevent him from getting to the line. Williams in the dummy half. And they hit the crash runner and spilled the ball. I think that's Ben Drayton it was that got up, put pressure on that short runner and forced the error.
I think maybe he was just a bit out of position too there. He's sort of bit further ahead than where the pass was. Good defensively, the Bears are doing really well.
Well, Brothers trying to return the favour, and they force another error picked up by Williams. So knocked on there by Cook. Well, you can't keep giving field position to Brothers like this.
Another one.
Penalty. High shot. He sort of slipped down into it a little bit, but got him high.
Yeah, at one point this is going to break. Yeah, not much in that.
Back live. Seaton Kernoth to dummy half. Goes to Kernoth. Short ball. And again, racing up on the outside. Provides an opportunity for Coombs. They do well to prevent him. Now with Northam. He's driven backwards. Does eventually sort of hand that ball out the back. To Taipata. Colton takes on the line.
What a
show and
tackle.
go.
What a tackle!
Desperation tackle there from the Bears. A tip on play there. Seaton Kernoth goes back infield. He beats the first. He runs into one of his own teammates. Spins away from another. Still going. Well, some tackle busting runs from Brothers. But the scramble from Litchfield. Kernoth goes to the line. Again tries to thread the needle and can't.
So knocked on.
And another error, it looks like, from Bears. It's going to be a Litchfield feed.
Okay.
So bounced back,
there it is.
hit Kernoth's hand, then Drayton. So double knock on. It was all a bit pinballish, but I think the referee's got that one right.
The ball's been down here a fair while now.
Well, I want a completed set, I'd imagine, Litchfield. Almost getting one against the feed. Well, you saw the dummy half's feet getting right into the second row there of the Bears.
What's it called here?
Well, I think the scrum just kind of fell apart after he got a foot to it. So he's just going to repack it.
Oh, what are you doing?
Well, they forgot they've got an error here, Litchfield, and
It's a forward pass.
a forward pass.
Johnny, you just said they need a completed set.
I'll have a look at the replay.
Oh, they just lost that one.
Yep, the pass from the base of the scrum. Ruled to have gone forward, and they're not doing themselves a lot of favours since they hit the front 8-4. They've gone mistake, mistake, mistake. Please, Brothers, level the score. Will Brothers answer the call? Dummy and go from the scrum win. The part of the dummy half. Comes out to Kernoth, who bounces away from the first. Goes back towards the middle. A good shot. A good shot there. Forces the mistake. Tom Harvey. Well, he wasn't going to have Aaron Kernoth running across field. Hits him hard. And gets his team the ball back.
Yeah. Really good. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but collected the ball on the way through. No high shot there. Call for a high shot from Coombs. Nothing there, nothing doing. Now they've got to get out of their own end.
Can we see a completed set? We get the
that helps them.
The leg lift. Here on Packham. The Bears, they get out of their own end. So now Flanagan goes towards the middle with Beckett. And all of a sudden they're up over halfway. Well, they've been under pressure for some period. Here's the man that forced the mistake just a moment ago, Harvey. He gets wrestled to the ground. There's Morecambe. Morecambe hard to tackle. Drags three Brothers an extra 5 metres. Now with Dixon. Dixon to Harvey. Harvey comes back towards his blind side. Seaton Kernoth. Left laying in the ground. Now show and go from Dixon, almost comes out the other side. Had Tones looming up on his right-hand side. Now they go out to Jacobson. Jacobson flies the flat pass. Looks like it's broken down a little bit there with Packham. He goes back infield and takes the tackle, and they'll hand it over. Well, I asked a question, but Brothers had the answer.
Well, they completed a set at least with the assistance from Brothers up the ground. They didn't have to kick it either, so that actually it's the first time they've actually started to set deep inside their own end, Donny, because they can't get a kick return.
Brothers, they're taking it up the field as we go around the grounds thanks to McDonald's. Westpac Women's Premiership. We'll have the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs and the Fremantle Roosters a little later on tonight, but the Willagee Bears leading the Giants 4-0.
Another loose carry. Good position.
Yeah, the Litchfield Bears on the back of that mistake go down into good areas. Flanagan comes towards the middle with Jensen. Harvey to the left, and that's the way they go. Harvey didn't think it was for him, so leaves it alone. Luckily, it goes out the back. Picked up by Dixon. Now Flanagan goes across the face of a couple to Beckett. They look to find some shape here at some stage in this set. They might not need it if Tomes can just bash his way over. Tackle 5. They haven't offered a great deal in this set. But good kick could change all that. Jacobson bounces away from one, step past another, kick nothing. I'm just going to score.
He's ducked to the right and then saw the gap open up on the left and thought, well, it's my birthday. It's a present. Gone right through, and as soon as he stepped there, I don't know who it was, the defender has already committed to go the left, so he was already wrong-footed, so all he had to do was slide through on the left. We'll see it here again.
Well, again, it looked like it had broken
so he's gone
down.
the right, and that point there, yeah, and the defender's fallen over. So, but he'd already committed to go the right. I think that was that Northam? I think it was, the 13. So he'd already committed to the left, regardless of him falling over. So just that step.
Well, I've got to put some heat on Tame Tupou, though. The first up contact
didn't hold
on
it.
the halfback.
Absolutely didn't hold it. Yeah.
He sticks that tackle. It's a terrible set of 6. They get the ball back.
Yeah.
And
that last carry, there was nothing there. I mean, he had no right to go through there at all.
None whatsoever. But as soon as that one miss, a player slips over on the inside, and it just it opened up. And one way to end a terrible set is to put points on.
Yeah, well, it's all happening for the Bears at the moment. So they haven't really needed much invitation to score down this end. On the other reverse, when the Brothers, I mean, how many sets do we have back to back to back? Oh, he's hit the post. That's a shocking kick. That's a terrible kick.
From right in front. He's dumbfounded. He can't believe it.
Sorry, mate.
He's given the choke symbol there, Naylor Simons. Well, that might come back to haunt them, but they are up 12 points to 4.
Yeah, sorry, Axe, go ahead, mate.
Just got another interchange from the Litchfield Bears here. Harvey, number 17, he's off, and Callum Double, he'll be out with a few minutes remaining in the half.
Thanks, Axe. Axe riding the boundary for us tonight. Hopefully he can grab us some interviews as well at half-time.
He's doing a great job around the grounds, courtesy of McDonald's in the under-18s game earlier on. And Litchfield Bears 18-4 over Brothers. It's Friday night. It's traditionally for the juniors, but we've got the DABSCO Premiership top of the table clash going right now, and it's the Bears looking to retain top spot. Up 12 points to 4 at the moment. No one can kick a goal. There's another mistake from the Bears. Seaton Kernoff. He picks it up, and Brothers, well, they've had some time down this end of the field. Can they turn it into points? Warrison. He takes it forward. Taipata into dummy half. Goes to Kernoff. Kernoff tips it onto Jarrett Wright. Jonas Nicky to the open side. What takes a run now is Caleb Taipata. Kernoff Has to deputise a dummy half. Goes to Nicky. Nicky goes the flat pass. Put down onto his back. Slow play the ball. And, well, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
It was ruled that
They're still asking
interference
the
in the ruck.
Still ask the question, aren't they, Don, the Bears?
Well, the
They need
defending well.
defending practice or something. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. Good slap.
Good shot there on Tupou. Now Nicky. Dummies to the outside. Takes them on. Bounces through one tackle. Looking to carry 4 across the line. There's got to be space somewhere. They adjust out to that right-hand side quickly. Kernoff. He's forced back inside. That's great defence from the Bears. They identified the issue. Got numbers there quickly. Warrison takes the tackle. Taipata to dummy half. Goes to Kernoff. Oh, a falcon for your life. That is a beauty.
Whoa! Someone's going to get a fine.
Well, let's have a look at this again. Oh, the super slow-mo is going to do this. Oh, yeah.
That's the leather sandwich, that one.
Oh, how does a football taste? Maybe that might be a question that Axe can ask for Nate Jarrett Wright at half-time. We'll see who he gets. Well, a danger man now, Antonio James.
Go, son.
They keep
straight. Oh, no.
They keep a straight line, but he still burrows over the top of the first chaser. Nathan Dixon, luckily Jake Flanagan gets in to help him out.
15, release arm. Yeah.
And just crowding the ruck there, doubled. Another man that's been hard to handle is Caleb Nicky. He's rolled over onto his back. Seaton Kernoff looking to target Nathan Dixon. That gets the offload back to Warrison. Warrison comes back infield. Plenty of Bears there. Now Williams waits at dummy half. Holding the ball up. Just taking it all the way to the line. Elijah Coombs, another man. Got plenty of post-contact meters. Kernoff switches around to the left-hand side. Puts a kick in behind for Colton. Colton gets the bounce. And that is brothers football right there.
Just turn the switch, flick the switch, and yeah, something from nothing. Just turning it on. Watch this. This is sublime. Just a chip over the top. Bounce was perfect. Again, the magic wand coming out. Just hit the turf on the top of the egg. Bounced up. Thank you very much.
We might go to Kyle. Aaron Kernoff there. He's played almost the entire night over on that right-hand side. Switching around to the left there creates an opportunity straight away. Is that something you'd like to see him do a bit more of as this game progresses?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like I said earlier, the rhythm of the brothers has been off, and it's good to see them getting a little bit more consistency as we move towards the end of the first half. They've got the strike power of the Darwin brothers, but they haven't been able to execute it. Quite a number of errors. I mean, to be fair, there's been errors from both sides, which is the game has been quite sloppy. You know, this is 1v2, so the standards haven't been that high, but it's still been a quality game. And the Darwin brothers, they strike back just before half-time. It's a timely try. No doubt will kick this. Caleb Nicky, take him to within 2. The Bears will be disappointed with a couple of their shots at goals tonight.
Absolutely, particularly one from right in front. They've had 2 hit the post, the Bears. One was from the sideline, which you'll forgive that, but it's certainly the one from almost directly in front of the posts. You don't want to be missing them, particularly in what's expected to be a close game, as Nicky moves in, and Cole's correctly called it. But we do have a 2-point ball game. All of a sudden, the Bears in front, 12 points to 10. And the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard as we see another view of the Dallas Colton try. Perfect bounce from the little chip over the top from Aaron Kernoff.
There's a shot of the blood moon. That's for you, TC.
It's called the rare strawberry moon, boys.
The rare strawberry moon. Well, there you go.
go. Strawberry
beauty.
moon.
It's not much up there that isn't beauty, mate. Especially you. Especially our fantastic commentary team up in Darwin. I think our clock might be a bit off there, Don. Got the call. I think there's 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes to go. Another penalty.
Well, this is a big set coming up now. They get the penalty, they get out of their end, a chance to go on the attack. You feel like it's been the Bears' half for most of this half, and they could find themselves behind after a really silly penalty. That was a clear case of crowding the ruck. Just dumb footy. It could cost them just before half time. 2 minutes until the break. The clock out by a couple of minutes.
10 straight up.
Another play the ball to Williams. Another good strong charge, and the ball comes free. And well, brothers, the error there from Jonas Nicky just.
I had to speak to the stats man, Don. I want to know how many penalties and how many loose carries we've had in this half, because there's been too many.
Just lets Litchfield off the hook there.
He's just pleading with the referee.
Just about to say, boys, we might need an inspection of the football.
Yeah, it's a bit of butter.
Too many errors.
Someone's put some butter. Maybe someone's got the trainer got the water out, Don.
That's it. The
Trainer's pouring the water.
Trainer sprayed the water on it to try and force the error. Works a treat in Golden Point. So just before half time, the Bears now taking it forward through Hall. Up towards halfway. Let's see if they've got a trick shot in them here before the break. Just trotting up towards the line. Here goes doubled. Play it back to Flanagan. Comes now to Beckett. Just looking at a power set at the moment. They're trying to meet power with power. It's Tame Tupou. We'll play it back to Flanagan. Flanagan out of dummy half, but we've got a mistake. Another mistake.
Again, stats man's doing their job. Keeping them busy.
Here we go around the grounds, courtesy of McDonald's and the Westpac Women's Premiership here in Western Australia. The Willagee Bears leading the Joondalup Giants 8-0. Reminder, we've got the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs, Fremantle Roosters following this clash.
That'll be a cracker as well, Don. I've been waiting for those teams to hit up against each other for a while.
Heads in. Wait. Come on, ball in. Break.
They'll just feed the scrum. Kernoth goes to the line, puts the kick through. Warrison chasing it, but it lands safely for the Bears. They're awake to it. Leo Cook takes the tackle, and that'll be half-time. We've got a cracker here, top of the table. 1v2, and it's 1 leading to 12 points to 10 at the break, Dave.
Well, mate, what can you say about that half? It's kind of had everything. A little bit too much of things that we don't like.
We less of that.
We had end-to-end footy. We thought we were in for at the early stages. I thought we were in for a bit of a shootout, but then each side sort of let each other in, especially late in that game, and some horrible ball handling and a lot of penalties. I think we do have. So we've got Axe down on the boundary. I think he does have a chat lined up for us, but both teams have got a bit of work to do in the second half, just to clean up their ball handling and a bit of discipline.
If we can keep this close scoreline business going, I'll be happy with that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, certainly a few less errors will give us a lot more fun stuff to talk about and a little bit less scrums to talk about.
Absolutely, let's hope so. And we do have an interview. We're down with Axe, mate. If you can hear us, just go ahead, mate.
Yeah, Dave McRae, Johnny Bell. I've got Aaron Kernoff, the captain here from the Darwin brothers, when you're ready.
Yep, go for it, boys.
Aaron, it's a top-of-the-table clash tonight here at TRL Stadium. There's 22 degrees. It's a bit nippy down here. Thoughts on the game? It's a tough game out there, but early thoughts?
We just need to get back to leading our sets, holding the ball. That's it. We have a few players out, but as we say, no excuses. We've got our 17 men. We have our full trust in them. Just got to get our silly errors out of our game, get the penalty out. And we got down there, we scored some points, but that wasn't good enough.
No worries, Aaron. Thank you very much. I'll let you get back to your squad, and we'll see you in the second half.
Well, mate, he said
Well, boys,
exactly.
I'll let Aaron go and address his side.
Thanks, Axe. Great chat down there. But Donez, he just said exactly what we said. He just got to, work on their ball handling, stop the penalties, and get back to playing some proper footy.
Yeah, I think Kyle pointed it out throughout that first half. It was unlike Brothers. They do have a few out, but they're just coming up with a couple of errors and some discipline issues that we're not used to seeing. And so we might leave you with the Strawberry Moon as we take a break. We'll be back with the second half shortly.
Oh, we're straight into it, Don.
Welcome back for the second half. The DABSCO Premiership top of the table clash between Brothers and Litchfield. Brothers with first use of the ball. They trail 12 points to 10 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard.
Don't lift the leg.
Trying to take the lead for the first time. They haven't led at any stage in this match, Brothers.
Straight up. Here we are.
With first use, trying to get through this set. Punching back in behind the ruck, Ben Drayton down low, makes the tackle. Now taking, again in behind the ruck goes Northam. And Kernoth puts everything into that. Warrison chasing through. He puts enough pressure on. Well, I think Cook heard the footsteps. Has spilt the ball. Seaton Kernoth's got it now, and Brothers right on the attack, and suddenly the Bears are scrambling. Northam able to run a long way before he gets to the defensive line. Gets his legs ripped out from underneath him. Plays it back to Williams. Williams goes to Colton. Goes the double pump to Nicky, but it's read well by Mullins. Not too many make that tackle with the first contact on Caleb Nicky, but they do on that occasion. Now Tupou. He plays it on the bounce, not the best of passes. Ends up with Kernoth though. Out to Seaton Kernoth, who steps inside. Stayed with him well, Archie Hall, to make the tackle. James at dummy half. Goes to Kernoth. Kernoth takes it right to the line. Over the top comes Burgess, who was recovered from that calf issue early in the first half. Little grubber in behind from Nicky. They're flying through, and Brothers get to it. Colton plants it in the in goal. He's got a double, and both of them from kicks. That one, a kick from Jonas Nicky.
First set as well. And he's got it right inside the paint. Look at that deft kick. Runs in. Oh, look at that. Just manages to get hold of it. Two runners coming in too. Don, who do you take out? That's the question.
Well, yeah.
Almost indefensible, that one.
Might go to Kyle Fauntleroy. You know, there's not too many teams that you see their number 10 putting in a deft little grubber like that, but no surprise to see the skill level of Jonas Nicky there.
Yeah, Dave and Don, it's Cam. Kyle subbed me in from the interchange bench. Much more positive start for Brothers here in the second half. You know, good set in attack, and then they came up with the ball after the kick. And you're absolutely right, Jonas Nicky putting the ball on the toe there, and Dallas Colston coming through for his second try. The first half scoreline probably flattered Brothers a little bit, but they've had a real positive start to the second half, and I dare say it, they might have been read the riot act at halftime for all that drop ball in the first half.
I would have thought so. Excuse me. Just, not great handling from the Brothers. We expect them to be a lot cleaner. And the Bears as well. Can't leave them out.
No, both teams made their fair share of errors. And Litchfield, well, they've opened the half with a knock-on from the Aaron Kernoth bomb. Gave Brothers another set of 6, and they haven't touched the ball in this second half, and find themselves now behind 16 points to 12 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. Just 3 minutes in to this second half. See that
both
fabulous.
teams very nervous in the first half.
You go, Cam?
Both teams very nervous, very unsettled in the first half. Very uncharacteristic football. There's a large full moon here in Darwin. Strange things happen in a full moon, and I think that first half was very uncharacteristic of both the Bears and Brothers. Hopefully we see the second half that they hold the ball and we get down to their usual patterns of play.
Looking forward to an entertaining second 40. And it started in an entertaining fashion for Brothers, although there's the mistake. As the full moon continues to wreak havoc.
Maybe that's what it is, Don. You might have called it right there.
What? There it is again. Let's see, it brings the tides up and it makes balls difficult to catch.
chemistry and stuff, doesn't it? Well, you know, if they have, it does affect the tides. It's the gravity pull, so maybe the water on the ball is just making it do strange things.
Well, I'll give the boys a little bit of an out here. It is a chilly night here in Darwin. It's 21 degrees. Maybe the boys have got frostbite and can't hold on to the pill.
21 degrees, Doc.
Yeah, I heard that
yeah,
from.
She had a bit of a chuckle, didn't you?
I did hear that from Axe there at half time, talking to Aaron Kernoff about how freezing it is in Darwin. It's,
I'll tell you what,
I think he said 22, so it's dropped a degree over the half-time break. So
I can tell you, Don, after spending a couple of weeks up there, when I got off the plane on Wednesday night here in Perth, I can tell you what cold is.
Yeah,
got off my shorts and my t-shirt too, rather stupidly.
Well, I mean, when you get 22 degrees in Darwin, you've got to put on a second singlet.
Oh, love it. It's a great place to be. I miss it already.
So now with Kernoff, as brothers, again, get themselves into a pretty good attacking situation. Nicky bounces off the first, gets the arms free, looks for an offload, but takes the tackle and gets the penalty. Just coming in using the shoulder, I think, against James Beckett. Didn't wrap the arms, just tried to put a shot on.
Doesn't want it. No.
Elijah Coombs coming back onto the field now for brothers.
Thanks, Cam.
Ruth Warrison now with the ball, goes within 5 metres of the try line. Falls over as he plays the ball, and it's going to go
that is
against Morecambe.
Tough. I don't know, there might be something on the replay, I don't know, but that for me was pretty tough.
He's ruled hand on the ball in the ruck and just wouldn't let go of it.
Go, Axe.
Sorry, boys, it looks like the brothers 10, the prop of Jonas Nicky, he's come off to be rested, and his interchange has taken the field.
Thanks, Axe, doing solid work down there on the lines, mate.
Nicky goes from dummy half and tries
held
to
up.
burrow over, but the Bears get plenty of numbers to make sure he can't get to the ground. Well, as soon as he got into dummy half, he was always going then, Caleb Nicky. The Bears read that. Just as I did in the commentary booth. It's Colton. Goes towards the middle with Northam. A settler flung to the ground by Burgess. They'll come out to Kernoff. Kernoff hits
well
at James. James. Again, good defence there from Archie Hall.
Spiders on him.
Seaton Kernoff to Aaron Kernoff, rolls it in behind, again chasing through. He's knocked on, no. Connor Williams gets to the ball first. All he had to do was grab it and plant it in the in goal.
It's good refereed right in the spot too.
Well, I think he gives himself up. He thumps the ground.
Well, actually, no, there
was
was a hand in there. I reckon he's knocked that out. I wouldn't mind seeing that again, actually. I reckon there's a hand in there. He's just knocked it out. Again, you do have the right to hold on to the ball.
Aaron Kernoff, one of the best short kicking games in the league.
Puts it on full display once again. And Litchfield breaking out of the tackles there, Packham. Plays it back, Flanagan. Now it's with Drayton. Drayton throws that inside. It's knocked backwards there by Vataitai into the arms of a teammate. Now an offload inside his 10, and Kernoff wants to go on the attack. He takes on Flanagan. Wants a quick play the ball. Brothers are inside their 20, and you feel like they could go the length. They settle things down with that carry from Seaton Kernoff.
They look likely there too, the Bears. Oh, it's just a disgust.
Well, Connor Williams, he knocked on in the in goal down the other end, and now dummy half comes up with another error. He's all in his own head in the last minute and a half. He's got to let that go.
I'll just chime in there where I can from the sideline.
Yeah, go Axe.
Boys, I've just noticed a lot of activity in the Bears camp. Fletcher Toombs, Rob Hayes come off, Jared Burgess is off, but they've used their spare player in the 16, Luke Mahood out there tonight, and lots of movement in the Bears camp from the bench.
Well, they're making some changes early in the half. And he's bounced off 4 there, finally brought down.
Well, the Bears, they want the lead back. They're down 16-12. They conceded to finish the half and to start this one. Getting up quickly, but running straight over the top goes double. Well, it's going to be a penalty because of no use of the arms, and Connor Williams' bad 2 minutes continues, giving away the penalty for the shoulder charge. Now here comes Mahood. He always draws in plenty of attention. Plays it back, Drayton. Drayton goes out the back. Turned underneath by Dixon. Brothers up to the task. Turnoff comes up with the tackle. They work down a short side with Dixon. Steps off the left, steps off the right, but goes nowhere. Plays it back now slowly to Flanagan. They come open side with Drayton. Drayton dummies on the outside, but not fallen for.
They're just wasting possessions here, Don.
They're doubled. He's going nowhere either. Tackle 5. Goes flat. They go out right to the sideline. They flick it back infield. Do they have a kick here somewhere? No. Dixon again. He's going to die with the ball. Can't get it free. Takes the tackle and they'll hand it over. Well, a good defensive set from Brothers, but Litchfield didn't throw a great deal at them.
No, it's just wasting carries there. I don't know what they were doing. Each carry, they looked like the ball carrier was trying to make his own score. They just needed to move it. They didn't really challenge the Brothers defensively there, in my view.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing the impact of Brock Priestley and Trent Wedding absent from the Litchfield Bears halves. They were uncreative there in that set of 6, and they had a great opportunity within the red zone to put some points on the board and to level the scores up.
Uncreative, Don. That's the word. Uncreative. They were they were as bland as flour paste.
Butter chicken.
I like butter chicken.
Yeah, well, so does every.
So does everybody. Yeah.
So does every Westerner, yes. I think.
Yeah.
A bit of afters in that tackle from Warrisum. Picked up and Dallas Colton's not real happy with the call. I would have been happy for play on. The referee saying he went past the horizontal dangerous.
Studio, I've got Jonas Nicky standing beside me when you're ready.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, Axe, go.
We'll carry on here. The Bears move now into a decent attacking position. They're 30 out from Brothers' line as Mahood again making an indentation. Drayton out of dummy half. He gets through the middle and dragged down from behind. Taipata, a desperate tackle. They try and barge over next play through doubled on 5. Flanagan goes out, stepping back infield. Jacobson gets the offload away, back to Flanagan. They have numbers out wide, but the pass not the best. The flick infield, and it's intercepted. Nicky's away. He bounces off Flanagan, looks to get away from Cook. The cover comes across, but desperate flick pass went forward straight into the arms of Caleb Nicky, and now Antonio James wants to get on the counter-attack as well. Axe, you still got Nicky there,
brothers. Vitete did a great job.
Sorry, boys, the audio cut out there a bit, but
I was going to say, brothers are in trouble in that piece of play.
So we'll
Vitete did well to defuse. There was 2 players out there on just the one brothers defender in Vitete. He did well, but fortuitous play, the ball coming up in Caleb Nicky's arms, and he's big and he's fast. They did well to stop him from running the full length of the field.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go end to end. In the end, it's Litchfield that have collected the ball again. Some more loose carries.
Another touch finder that has gone very close to not going out. And that one didn't go out. So
interesting.
Yeah, sorry, Cam.
interesting, Caleb Nicky's just moved back to fullback. Antonio James not there at the fullback. Caleb Nicky standing very deep.
And the quick tap, and he's made some huge territory from that. They caught the brothers napping. And the second carry, Don, already up past the 30.
Now Hall.
Still going.
Good strong carry. He's in there by himself there. Taipata. Now Flanagan steps past one.
He's got
into
to score.
space. Fullback to beat. Jake Flanagan take a bow. A try under the post. Locks us up with a kick to come.
It's just a bit of individual effort too. As soon as he picked up, you heard me call it, as soon as he picked up the ball, there was only one place he was going. And I think defensive, there was a couple of brothers here that were just caught napping. I just thought, wow, look at the brilliance here. Let's have a look at this. He's run past 5 of them to score under the post. Surely they've got to convert this kick. Surely.
Well, boys, just quickly, sorry, I'd pay double money to have a camera down here. The Bears bench absolutely erupted with passion when that score was tried. Try was scored, sorry, we'll say.
That it was a pretty good try.
With some great footwork, and it has been. I think that's when the Bears have looked most dangerous, is those agile players through the middle, like Jake Flanagan, like Ben Drayton. I think they need more of those guys working in around the big. Brothers have got a big side in the middle of the park, and I think they can cause some headaches.
100%, and that's what Cam that's what Cam mentioned. That last set we're up here, just unimaginative, uninventive. Just running straight at the line, not using those toes, not using the pace, not trying to get those defenders, those big defenders, wrong foot them, and that's what he did there. And look, there was some parts of that play that I'm sure the brothers won't want to see again. But he made them work as we see it again. They inside, outside, back in. Arches the back there too.
It just exposed the lateral movement there at Nate Jarrett Wright. He wasn't able to move sideways. Frith Warrison wasn't able to close down the gap. And then we heard Cam talk about the fullback that has just the fullback change that's just happened. Caleb Nicky caught flat-footed, unable to get going to get across to stop him either. So just a few things that Jake Flanagan was able to expose there, and it's 18-16 after that conversion attempt. It's the Bears in front for the first time in the game. Well, not for the first time in the game. But after coming up with an error to start the second half, they come up with another error after taking the lead back from brothers.
Leo Cook just...
Well, they're coach killers, aren't they? How many times has that happened tonight where there's been a try scored and then the very first set there's been an error? Just inviting brothers straight back in.
We've seen it quite a few times.
Before he's actually taken possession of that, he's looked to his left to see where he's going to throw it. He was not under pressure. There was no kick chase. Just take the ball.
Seaton Kernoff with a flick pass out to Riggs. Riggs has already got one, but the Bears, they managed to slide off him well enough to get across to make that tackle. Taipata at dummy half. He goes to the open side. Turned underneath with Warrison. Stands in the tackle and they drag him backwards. Making metres with their defence. The Bears. And they slow the ruck down. Now Kernoff goes right to the line before handing that one off.
7 up. Take the line.
Fighting to his feet. It's Jarrett Wright. Now Colton to Nicky, who hits a great line. A hole opened up for him, and you just cannot give Caleb Nicky that sort of space.
Or that sort of ball. Say it again. And it was a quick chain as well. And from an error, brothers go down that end and go bang.
Yeah, it's beautiful football, isn't it, when you see two passes wide of the ruck and a Caleb Nicky running straight into a gap.
Certainly is.
And hard.
Absolutely.
Well,
certainly.
It's just again, I'm sure we'll get a chance to see the replay after the conversion attempt, but the centre, who I think is Leo Cook in the one, who made the mistake from the kickoff, look at his body position. He just turns almost completely sideways, and that opened up the space on his outside shoulder. There was no chance of him adjusting to get out there and make that tackle.
And it's not like you don't know he's going to do that. I mean, you know how potent Carpenter is with the ball. Yeah, and he was two back there. You know the ball was going to get to him. And it looks easy for me to say when I'm sitting up here in the box with the camera and the wide view, but you just know he's dangerous.
Yeah, again, I mean, there's a common thing that ball players look for, and it's if you're turning your shoulders in, then straight away he knows you've got you. But he was almost perpendicular.
He was,
He was completely sideways, and it made it easy for Colton to exploit.
Try and convert his own try. Well, we've got the shootout, Don.
Let's see if Brothers return the favour and make a mistake from the kickoff.
If you're watching at home and you're a Brothers fan, you send your complaints to T. Crow at NRL.com.
Conversion attempt waved away. It's 20 points to 18 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. We've got an hour gone, 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, you called that really well, Don. Well, the kicker game hasn't been good from either side, but I tell you what, it's keeping it tight. It's keeping it tight.
Now, we haven't seen a lot of successful conversions. The referee having a... Not sure exactly what that's about.
Because he hasn't blown time back on either. I don't know what's going on. Is there a blood? No, no idea.
He's calling out Aaron Kernoff.
He's had a chat to the Bears. He's now looks like he wants to have a chat to the Brothers captain, so he's having words to both captains.
Just lost him on comp too. It's the wrong moment. Is it the trainers?
There's certainly a bit of confusion as to what's going on here.
Still hasn't called time on. Still waiting for something. Oh, we're waiting for...
Dave, when you're ready.
Yeah, go, Axe. If you know what's going on down there, let us know.
Yeah, look, on a guest matter, not an official comment, but from what I can see and hear, some unwelcoming comments from our spectators here. And it looks like they're just going to pull it up while they get that addressed by match officials. But at this stage, it looks like some unruly people are getting into the referee from the sideline, which is not welcomed, here in or any level of sport.
Well, that's a good call, Axe. Thanks for that. That's why we got you down there, mate. So we're just here to watch some footy. If you're watching at home, well, if you're watching at the ground, and there's some individuals around you that have doing the wrong thing or mouthing off, tell them they need to do it outside because they're ruining a good game of footy. We're just here to have fun, and it's been a great game of footy thus far. So this is a dampener on what's been a pretty good first hour.
Dave and Donna, might be a good opportunity to mention the CAST results. WA having a great tournament.
Hold on, lads.
Dave, you're pretty happy about all of that?
Hold on, lads.
Got both of you talking at the same time there.
Both of you go. I think we've got some chain and com there. So down to you, Axe. What have you got for us?
Yeah, sorry, boys. Sorry for the double comms there. But, yeah, just confirming so we get this right. The matchday officials and ground security are addressing the behaviour of the crowd. So, like you said, a huge dampener on tonight's game, and unfortunate to see here.
It certainly is. Cam, what did you have?
Just while we got this break in play, the results coming in from CAST and Western Australia taking out the CAST in the men's and in the women's, but the NT did very well.
You got a draw in the women's?
South Australia
with Victoria?
Yeah, and a win
It's a conversation piece. I
32
know that.
points to 4 over.
I think in general the community was probably a little bit disappointed with the women's, the Titans' performance. Probably expecting a little bit more. I know there's probably been some discussions. And
well, I think the NT might very well be upset with Kaylee Thompson. She didn't have a kicking boots on in the last game against Victoria to allow the NT to come up and finish second on for and against.
I would have to disagree with you, Don, and say it's probably Victoria, South Australia, probably anyone that's ever played against Kaylee Thompson is probably a little bit upset with her. We know how.
But I think it was four or five tries all unconverted from Western Australia in that last game, and
still going.
She had have been able to kick a few conversions, and the NT might have finished second in the women's comp on for and against, but Victoria did take that honour in the end.
So we had Michaela McDonald, NRL official there on the park.
We might take this opportunity to have a look and see what's going on around the grounds. So around the grounds courtesy of McDonald's in the Westpac Women's Premiership game currently going on. The Willagee Bears up against the Joondalup Giants. It's the Willagee Bears leading the Giants 14 points to 0. They're top of the table in the Westpac Women's Premiership, and it looks like they're going to extend that position and keep the pressure on the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs in the game later tonight.
There you go.
Up against the Fremantle Roosters.
So I can confirm, thanks to some information down at the other ground from us from AWST, that play has been officially suspended. We're just dealing with an issue in the ground at the moment, and I believe they're just trying to locate an individual or individuals. So.
Well, this is really unfortunate. I mean, 20-18, top of the table clash, 20 minutes to go, and for an incident like this to halt the game, it's obviously it's not exactly what you want, but it's got to be dealt with, and
it's not boding well either for our timing, Don, because not that it matters to those watching at home, but we do have a time turnover for the Westpac Women's Premiership.
Because that one's supposed to start in 20 minutes, so. This game delicately poised. Brothers up 20 points to 18 following the Caleb Nicky try. And you see Litchfield just trying to stay warm, because some big clashes over the course of this weekend.
Tomorrow, Don, I'll have to speak about. Sorry to cut you off there. No, are we back on? Is that a referee whistle? Looks like we are.
Referee's sort of getting them back out there, but
tomorrow,
referee's blown his whistle.
Good work. Tomorrow is the Chico Motlop Memorial Shield. A great of the game, especially from the camp of the Rabbits.
So that's the Raiders.
The Raiders and the Rabbits game. That'll be live on NRL Pathways as well.
The Dragons Rabbits.
Dragons Rabbits. No, I'll get it again.
Yep.
And it'll be the fantastic top-end team that'll be hosting that as well.
Oh! Where do you send those complaints again?
Did I? We just said that. I literally just said that. Oh my gosh! Don't. I'll get in trouble.
I think you gave out an email address. You're not supposed to.
I'm not supposed
you should give out the real one now.
I didn't give it all out.
No, you should give out the real one now. It's just to stitch him up.
Literally just said that. No, you said that.
I said that.
You literally said that. Oh my gosh!
Brothers fans are blowing up at the commentary team.
The mocker.
Well, you almost went through there, Jarrett Wright. Got excited when he saw the try line down the other end, and that's horrible scrum. That can't be allowed to stand. Everybody just stood up and kicked at the ball.
It's all happening. It's all happening.
Yeah, that's an advertisement for rugby league right there. A great chance now for the Bears to again retake the lead. As the ball comes out the back, ends up in the hands of Harvey. Harvey will play it back to Drayton. Drayton looks one way, goes the other, goes now himself.
What are you doing?
Almost burrows in underneath. Flanagan to dummy half. Goes to the open side, and it's with Jacobson. Jacobson again towards the line. Brothers get numbers in the tackle. He's still standing and struggling before Matt puts him down. Slow play the ball. Drayton, flat pass, knocked down by Warrison. Play on.
No,
not playing on. We're going to have knocked down by Brothers. Knock on against Bears and handover. We'll have a look and see. I'm not sure how that was not a knock on against Warrison.
I think the referee was blindsided there.
Well, it is a difficult job when there's a lot of bodies moving in the middle of the field. It's tough for the touch judges to see it. The referee only gets one angle. He made his call and ruled knock on against the Bears. I think they had one go their way in the first half, so it all evens out.
Well, if it's going to happen, you want to have it down the opposition end. Well, he breaks through.
Great run from Matt. He goes straight through, dragged down from behind. Desperate tackle from Flanagan. Now on the back of that front foot, the early kick. Goes down, it's taken by Simons, who brings it back. Well, they put it down the other end of the field, and getting up quickly now is Northam, putting a shot on as the line speed looks to go up a notch. We've got a big 15 minutes to come. The Bears through Morecambe. Up to the 40-metre line. Plays it back to Drayton. Looks out to the blind side. Slipping over is Dixon. And the whistle. A key penalty. Well, that was getting late in that count.
Jeepers.
And Brothers, the last thing they needed. Well, we've spoken a few times tonight about their discipline. And late in the count, just got in front of the referee, played advantage before blowing the whistle as Dixon gets some pickle juice into him. Now Archie Hall runs across field towards the middle of the park, busting through a couple of tackles, plays the ball, Drayton will go, Drayton will have a crack at the Brothers' defence.
Boys,
up
from
to
the
the
sideline
task.
when you're ready.
Yeah, go for it. Axe, he's gone. No.
Ruled backwards. We'll go to you at the end of this set, Axe. Flanagan at dummy half. Dummy on the outside, comes back towards the middle with Drayton. Drayton runs into Kernoth. He wasn't falling for a dummy there. So Flanagan, he goes to dummy half. Doubled. Well, he's just tried to crash over a couple of times tonight. Fires out to Dixon. Dixon short ball. Morecambe can't get it to the outside to Hall. And he dives with the ball. Well, that might be the opportunity to go down to Axe on the sideline.
Thanks, Donnie. Well, thanks, Dave. Look, I just, in that stoppage before, in the game stoppage, I caught up with the coach from the coach's corner for the Litchfield Bears, and they were just reiterated to me they were making too many errors out of their half of the field and too many errors on the restarts, and that's why we're seeing that lack of points tonight.
Well, errors has been the key theme, I think, throughout the 67 minutes so far. There's Nicky, a good charge again, trying to get Brothers out of trouble. Elijah Coombs tries to do the same. Leapt over the top of Tom Harvey before hitting the deck. Now with Nicky. Nicky, flick pass, speculator. Out it goes now wide. A chance for Riggs with a bit of room to move. Riggs, he beats one, beats two, beats Flanagan as well. Before eventually Archie Hall comes up with the tackle that had to be made. On 5, Kernoth kicking across field, chasing through. Colton gets the pass away, and a try to Tupou. And Brothers, well, on the front foot, is there any team in this competition that's better than Aaron Kernoth?
Just from nothing again, end to end. Look at the spread they had on the left there. Just was always going to score. Great deft kick again. Smiles all around.
Well, again, that was a get-out set from Brothers.
It was.
There wasn't much happening, and then Jonas Nicky throws a speculator. Wasn't looking. His head was down. Just flicks it out the back to whoever wanted it. Landed straight in the arms of Aaron Kernoth. Of course it did. They're brothers. It just sticks for them. Everything works.
Everything always. I don't know what it is.
They're a magical rugby league
like
team.
I said a couple of weeks ago, mate. They've got some sort of magic wand with those kicks. I don't know what it is. Do not know what it is. But it was a get-out set. And it was almost like, I don't know about you, Don, that break. Oh, how long was it? 5-10 minutes? The Bears looked like, I mean, we just saw a set down there. Unimaginative again.
Came out pretty flat.
I mean, you can hear me groaning in the mic. He had 2 on his left. And he went himself straight at the marker. What are you doing? Anyway.
Frustration, but brilliant from Brothers. After the break there from Hayden Riggs, they were on the front foot. Last tackle, didn't just kick down to a corner, an attacking kick from Kernoth. Again, targeting Dallas Colton, who he's been everywhere. Everywhere that those kicks have gone, he's been the man who's caught it. It's landed on his chest and just draws the fullback, gets it on the outside to Tame Tupou, who has a free run to the try line. And a chance now for an 8-point break with 10 minutes to go. The smile comes across the face of Caleb Nicky just before he moves in. Important kick. And he raises the flags. 26 points to 18 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. 70 minutes gone, 10 to go. Can Litchfield come back?
Well, you can. Just got to use the ball right. So then a replay again. Great kick. Caleb Nicky's been fantastic.
Well, they certainly have to take some chances.
Now, as I was talking, Don, tomorrow, no Super Saturday tomorrow, there is, but it's just across 2 different feeds. So we've got the Fuel to Go play Premiership here in WA, of course, as a standalone, and the commentary team from up north, Cam, Axe, Chris and Kyle will be on hand to call the Chico Motlop Shield, of course the Dragons and the Rabbits. Memorial game tomorrow. And we're hoping that it's a good clash. And as I said, the lads will be running that one. And hopefully we can cross to them at halftime here in WA and get an update.
Absolutely. And
our pathways, as usual. What do we got now? Offside again.
No, it's penalty against Brothers with the ball in hand.
Wow.
Well, here's the chance. Flanagan wants to get on with it. Just gets up and pushes the marker out of the way. Again, silly stuff. Unnecessary. Gives away the penalty. Luke Mahood, he gets back. He reloads and comes again. And comes out the other side. They jump on his back and he carries them another 15 metres. They're about 6 or 7 out from the line. It comes across to Dixon. Dixon dummies to the outside. Goes back in. A chance now for Morecambe. He gets over, rolls over, plants it, and the Bears are back. They ain't going anywhere. They're top of the table for a reason. And we've got a ball game once again. Grandstand finish. Here we come.
We've still got 8 minutes. Still got 8 minutes.
Plenty of time.
Complete after points.
Well,
not even one set. Up the other end. Give us a pie. It's crashed over that. Look, that time it worked. That time it worked. The crash play.
Well, again, it came from the Mahood run.
Yep.
The play before, he crashed through again, draws in so many defenders that there is space out there.
Yeah.
Brothers are trying to adjust to get out there, and because they've over chased, a little step back inside, and there was some room for Brodie Morecambe, who, you're right, it was Morecambe in the previous set though down here that had you groaning with disgust as he took the ball himself instead of passing to the outside. Yeah. But he scores a very important try.
And this is an important kick.
Well, they haven't kicked well for the most part, the Bears. Dixon moves in and he continues that theme.
Yep, complaints.
Waved away.
Jump on Facebook.
26-22 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard.
We put the mocker.
73 minutes gone. Well, I don't know that you've got too much control over the boot of Nathan Dixon, but he's been struggling with cramp. Like he's kicked from the sideline was pretty good, but he's struggling out there physically. He's had to put in a huge amount of effort in this game. He's been everywhere for the Bears, and I don't know whether he was the right man to be taking the kick. He kind of stabbed at that really tentatively. There's now a good carry to start this set from Fletcher Tones. An important set of 6. They get out of dummy half. They'll find the runner in behind in Mahood. Well, this is a good power set so far. Continuing Beckett. He spins out of the tackle of an offside player. So does well to stay out of it. Now it comes from Dixon, goes wider, out to Jacobson. Jacobson bounces away. Dixon gets it back again. He had the arms free, but takes the tackle. Drayton out of dummy half. Again to Jacobson. Now to Morecambe, the try scorer. Dummies this time, takes the tackle. Well, this has been a good set after points. Can they finish it? They're going to bomb towards a corner. Coming through is Simons. Climbing high is James.
He's out.
But the boot goes and touches the sideline. The flag goes up and the Bears will get the ball. Well, his foot just slipped. The touch judge in perfect position. We'll have a look at the replay as the boot slips out from under him and hits the sideline.
Oh, he's pushed the boot over. Lovely. Smart play.
Mahood reaches out and he's a metre or two short. Drayton at dummy half. Flat ball to Flanagan. Flanagan towards the line. Brothers, they're just holding on. Drayton will have a go. Spins out of one. He's spun over in the tackle there of Tupou. Flanagan goes to the right. Floater, knocked down. The tie knocks it down, ends up with Litchfield and they score. The Bears, they lock this one up. They've got a kick from out wide. I think they've kicked about 1 from 8 so far tonight. And this one to put them in front late. You see the little touch ends up in the hands of the Bears. They dive over to score a very important try.
Wow.
A double, I think, from Ben Mullins. 26-all, kick to come.
The Bears kicking tonight, Don, has been poop. That's the best thing I can say about it. But this is the most important kick. There's still plenty of time left. My gosh, you want to get this over the bar.
I think they're 1 from 5 so far tonight. And it is
their conversions might not have been too good tonight, but that set of 6 that set up that try was absolutely perfect from the Bears, and a fortuitous result for them with Antonio James putting his foot into touch. There is a little bit of surface water. It seems to be a little bit slippery tonight, and that boot just sliding over into the grandstand side touch. But absolute perfect set of 6 from the Bears, as you called it, Dave, an absolute power set, a great kick, and that's probably the best set they've put on the field all night.
I would agree with that.
It was a much better set, yeah.
I would agree with that. That is the best set Litchfield have put on all night. At an important moment with 5 minutes left on the clock, that's the time to do it. They were down in this game with 10 to go. They were down by 8, 26-18. They've now scored 6 tries to 5, but they are locked up. They need this conversion. Nathan Dixon, 10 in from touch, moves in, hits that towards the post and raises the flag.
I don't know why I'm getting excited.
He's kicked it.
I'll tell you what, that was the kick. That was the most important kick. Speaking about important sets, Cam and Don, that kick had to score that one.
Well, watch for the inventive kickoff here. Caleb Nicky. They need the ball back. It looks like they're just going long. So you hear the groan from the crowd. They wanted a short kickoff. They wanted something contestable.
just complete get up the ground.
Well, the Bears.
When you're ready, boys, from the sideline.
Yeah, what do you got, Axe?
Just want to say, the moment that conversion went through that process, grandstand erupted up here in the top end. It was fantastic to be down here in a great atmosphere.
Sounds loud there too, Friday night. I tell you, what was the discussion, Don, earlier in the week, and whether we could fit this game. Kicked early.
Bouncing around, Antonio James, so watch that go over the dead ball line. They'll have a full 7 tackle set from the 20-metre line. Well, the brothers, they are not going to die wondering. Antonio James back to the 20-metre line for the tap restart. The Bears are up in his face to try and shut him down. Plays it back to Williams. Williams to Warrison. Warrison crashes up towards the 40-metre line. That's tackle 1. Now Armat. The Bears again up quickly to make sure he's not able to wind up at all. Kernoth goes out the back to Colton. He's been the man he's looked to for his creative kicks tonight, that time with the pass, but Colton goes down with it. Now off the back fence comes Nicky. The Bears get numbers into that tackle. Feels like now or never. Goes out the back. Comes out to Warrison. Warrison with the ball free. Back to Seaton Kernoth. He runs into the teeth of the defence. He needed to go to the outside. Last play, Kernoth. He's looking to his options on the outside. Goes right to the line. Goes out the back, spinning out of the tackle. And into space go brothers. Coombs hits the deck. The ball comes free. And diving on it is Naylor Simons. Time off is called. It's going to be a penalty against brothers to the Bears, and that should be enough to see them win a classic. They lead 28-26. There is not much time left on the clock. And just a desperate tackle there from David Jacobson. Elijah Coombs couldn't find a runner to get the ball to. He's come up with the error at the high shot on Simons. And the Bears, well, they've come from 8 down with 10 to go, scored 2 tries in the championship minutes to show why they sit atop the DABSCO Premiership.
Don, I mentioned it really.
Don, if we go back to that moment, where they were 8 down, it was brothers who gave away the penalty while they were in possession of the ball. That was a real turning point in this match. Litchfield were able to score from that and then score another try. And that ball there, Elijah Coombs, had he got the ball out, Caleb Nicky, Isaac Seaton-Kernoth and Mikhail Vitete, they were open. Just had to find that extra pass. He just couldn't get it.
Well, a few players coming from the field after that injury. The Bears, time back on. They kick that one into touch, and well, they've just got a hold onto the footy here, Litchfield. Brothers looking to really aim up. Come up to put a shot on. Kernoth trying to strip that one away from Archie Hall. Unable to get it. Drayton. He finds a runner. Jensen takes the tackle. Slow to his feet. Across the face of Flanagan to Mahood, and they come up with an error. Well, that's unbelievable from the Bears.
Kick off, Don, in the Westpac.
Brothers scrum has packed.
You'll see on the screen there. So Ellenbrook and Freo are underway in Perth as the siren goes here. And that'll be it. That's full time. The Bears win.
Well, yeah, it's going to be some controversy here with brothers. The referee's already blown full time. The siren sounded after the referee said time off.
100% it did, yeah. I heard him say time off. I was about to say, why are you blowing time off?
But the siren has sounded. So his time had expired before he'd actually called time off. he's already said that it is full-time, game is over. Brothers, they can complain, but they've... it really has been their own discipline that's been a big part of their issue.
It's especially, yeah. I mean, that's... Again, a great resolve, I think, from the Bears. When they went over again and got within 8 points, I thought they were done. I thought that was it. I thought they were done. They managed to pull back and...
I think both teams missing a few players, and it's still a great clash, but I think they're going to have a few more before this season is done.
We might go, if we can, we might go live to WA, but in the meantime, I believe, Axe, if you can still hear me, mate, I believe you do have something for us down on the ground, mate.
Yeah, Dave, I'm just looking at the captain, the halfback of David Jacobson. He is at the moment, but the coaches give him insight to him in a few moments. I'll try and get as I can.
Yeah, mate. I can see on the screen, mate. We'll still we'll pop you up in the corner. We're just in the WA game at the moment, mate. But just bring your interview closer to the mic, mate. We're now into the Westpac Women's Premiership, and I've been waiting for this game, mate. This is going to be an absolute barnstormer.
Well, it absolutely should be, as it is with the Fremantle Roosters with Nana Bush.
Boys, when you're ready, I've got the captain with me, the halfback of Dave Jacobson, Litchfield Bears.
Go, mate.
Yeah, mate, go for it.
Dave, mate, tough game out there, and congratulations. You and the squad, you fought to the last minute, and that try in the closing minutes was well-deserved, but a tough game tonight.
Yeah, so it's a real tough game with brothers. It's something we always look forward to, and boys done real well today. We know we're up for a fight all day, and we're proud of the boys.
Top three players?
I reckon Dicko, Brody Morecambe, and Luke Mahood coming off the bench was good for us going forward.
Going into the training, anything to take away from tonight?
I think good grind, we dug deep, we worked hard for each other, and we never gave up. I think that's really important.
Well, congratulations once again on a blockbuster game tonight. I'll let you go and celebrate, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thanks, boys. Back to you upstairs.
Well, thanks, boys, in Darwin. Great again to have you on the comm. Looking forward to your call for tomorrow in the Chico Motlop Memorial game. Hopefully that's a cracker. We're here with Westpac Women's Premiership, mate. Looks like Freo in a good position.
Yeah, they've got a couple of penalties back-to-back. Just put them down into a good spot. Now the cut-out pass just bounces around, and it's swooped upon by Thompson. Now Kaylee Thompson looks to set sail. Doesn't have the speed in the legs that she used to.
It certainly looked like she was trying to draw something she had.
Well, I didn't know they had quicksand in Joondalup, but she found some. Now the Rabbitohs up towards halfway after that intercept. Puts them down into a good spot. Curran at dummy half. Works down a short side with Claire. Claire takes it right to the line. Standing in the tackle, can't get the offload away. Curran again into dummy half. Now behind the line. Goes Talmia. Always a handful. Arsam out to the right. She's flat. Now Thompson. Thompson gives the short ball. It's with Gray. Gray towards the line. Tackle just short of her ultimate goal. And the Roosters hold on. Well, a good opportunity there for the Rabbitohs, and because a game earlier tonight, we're giving updates throughout. The Bears, they're up 14-0. The Giants came back, but didn't quite get there. 14-10 in that game. The Bears holding on against the Joondalup Giants.
That looked like it was forward to Nona Bush. That's a penalty for offside.
No, it's a high shot again.
High shot, yeah.
2 in a row on Nona Bush. She Mate, it's like she's got a target on her from some of her former teammates.
I don't know. No idea why. No idea why. Absolute talent. Of course, a lot of these women athletes, part of the victorious cast team. Cast.
You've got to make the Northern
you'll know
Territory
this, but is it the first time that we've won both? Men and women?
I'm not 100% sure.
It's a good time to do it.
To be honest,
So I think just for those watching at home, I think we're about 9 minutes in, so our clock is obviously a little bit slow.
A little bit.
Just a little bit, about 7 minutes, that's fine.
We've got a little bit of a stoppage here in this game. Hobbling around. Berryman dummy half as the Roosters walk down a short side and just stopping there at the line. Pretty sure that's not Horner. Nona Bush. Now Turner Wallace tips out, so working out a few of the jersey number changes for the Roosters. Now again, driven backwards, Jetta. The ball comes out. The kick down. So now the Rabbitohs right down their end of the field. Running now is Ruru Hanaki, trying to find some room, some space. Curran to dummy half, looked one way, comes back the other. Nona Bush makes the tackle. It's now Gray. Gray almost comes out the other side, had the arms free, wants a quick play of the ball. Kaylee Thompson screaming for it. She gets out, she thought she caught the markers not square. She convinced the referee as well.
She did
and earns aside the penalty. Well, she was right.
I'll tell you what, yeah, she was. I'll tell you what, when she does eventually call time, you'll be able to tell us, what's the current name for the best female in first grade? The medal.
Nika Stevens or
the medal. It's because obviously there's a Ken Allen.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's got to be the Thompson medal, surely. It'd have to be.
No, I think there already is a. I know there's the Danielle Parker's been honoured with one of the tournaments. Anika Stevens has been honoured as well with another. I don't know whether that's the Ken Allen equivalent. I can't remember off the top of my head. We've got a bit of a stoppage.
Claret? It's the arm. Was she wearing something?
I don't know.
I think
I don't know. I couldn't pick up the comms there from the
or is it a cut
referee?
Or is it something? The referee's called the trainer over to put some tape on the arm.
In any case, Leach is
dropped it.
Sorted out. But the Rabbitohs, they're not sorted out. The mistake upon the resumption comes up with the error, and the Roosters will get the scrum fee.
I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks, Dom, but I'm really impressed. Well, I don't know whether impressed is the right word, but really happy to see there's a lot of new young refs coming through the ranks in Western Australia. A lot of faces and a lot of voices I haven't heard before. For a number of years we had a lot of old heads running around, obviously, but clearly the Referees Association and NRL and Western Australia have been doing some really, really good work and getting some new youngsters out there with the whistle, which is fantastic to see.
Well, that's a penalty against the Roosters for not using the foot. It's young ref. We have seen him a few times over the last couple of weeks, and one thing I will say is that early in games, he tends to blow a lot of penalties. He does settle down as he gets into the game, but hopefully he does let this flow and let the players play. As he blows another penalty.
All right, so you said you could play. If you've watched the previous game, we've I don't know what the score is, Don, but we've done a few.
Frida
Look at her go.
Hard to stop. Well, everyone
Still
just
going.
stepped out of a way. No one wants to stand in front of the freight train. It's now Thompson, dummies to the outside, takes them on. And the Roosters, they're not falling for dummies from Kaylee Thompson. Now it comes out with Claire. Claire floats one out wide. They find some space, the Roosters. They adjust, they get across. Well, they got numbers there, but they didn't get shoulders there. They're still going with Claire. Claire standing in the tackle. Eventually they're going to make the tackle.
Had no right to carry that ball that far.
Now getting out of dummy half, and they have a go now with Willow Leach, and held up. Well, an important tackle from Fremantle. Well, Leach will go back to the 10-metre line. Claire at dummy half. Assam. Lunga puts herself in front. Shows some of her teammates how to do it. Stops her in her tracks. Now Claire, they go wide, and that one's forward. Well, the last pass doesn't stick. And the Roosters hold on.
Hasn't been, well, I was just about to say hasn't been as clean as I expected, but I guess you could probably expect it, actually, given a lot of these girls have been interstate for a week and a bit.
Well, again, no foot on the play of the ball. So again, just throwing between the legs.
Got to be honest with you,
two in a row.
I see a lot of that throughout the week, and it doesn't often get called.
Well, there was supposed to be a tap, and Claire's played the ball. The referee's happy with it though, as it's off the foot. Now Tukiwaho. Now to Gray. Gray turns it underneath to Assam. Lunga. Making it a task to make sure she makes the tackles on the Assam duo. They go out wide, and again the ball hits the ground. Mistake from Stevens.
Not attractive rugby league at the moment. What are we coming in? Here we go. Okay, yep.
All right, scrum feet now from the Roosters. They'll want a completed set, and maybe make sure that they play the ball with their foot in this set of six.
Get out of their own hands, play the ball with the foot.
Not something I've been keeping a close eye on, but I will in this set of six.
There we go.
Absolutely. Took her time as Horner out on this right-hand side. Horner comes out the other side, fends away from Claire. The fullback comes across to make the tackle. Ruru Hanaki had to be made. Look to the outside, nowhere to go.
It's your foot, says the referee.
Bit of a reminder for the Roosters. They've had some trouble in that department. Runga goes to the line, out the back. And it picked up by Traherne. Traherne set sail and is away for the first try in this game. Sam Traherne, she made the cast team at the recent tournament, and you see why. Pure, blistering speed, goes the length to score for the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs.
Here it is again on replay. That was just lackadaisy by the Roosters. They almost watched it happen. Well, they did watch it happen. And no one was going to catch up.
Well, they enjoyed watching it as much as we did. It was a great pickup. It's not an easy thing to do. Silky smooth hands to grab that in one motion down around your ankles, and got to top speed very quickly.
She's blowing. She's spent everything on that. Again, you wouldn't expect the girls to be in tip-top shape, given they would have absolutely thrown everything at the CAS Championships. Again, as I said, it's a great time for WA to come back with both titles, given what's happened over the last few months and what we're building to. But even in the women's game, we've been speaking of this over a couple of weeks. We're back to 5 teams in the comp. We've got a lot of youngsters, got a lot of youth coming through. It's a great time for rugby league in Western Australia as Super Boot Carly Thompson.
We'll see this pick-up again from Traherne, and as soon as she got it, no one was catching up. She's got a ton of pace, as we saw throughout the CAST Championship. She made the merit team, the affiliated states and territories merit team, along with Kaylee Thompson, Mahina Rangi-Clare as well, on the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs side of things, with Katie Horner on the Fremantle Roosters side, also making that merit side. Well, with plenty of other Western Australians not playing here tonight. Roosters, they concede first points. Well, it's an important game for the Fremantle Roosters. If they do go down in this game, it opens up a 2-point break between the top 2 and the rest of the competition.
I think it's for them as well. It's about being a genuine title chance as well.
They look like they're missing a few, and as you say, there's going to be a couple of sore bodies from a big tournament over in Victoria. Successful tournament.
Sam again. Bang, get out of the way! I love it! I love it. Geez, I tell you what.
Well, that's an interesting penalty. Offside. She ran about 25 metres there.
I was just about to say
Sarah Arsaham.
How many times would Sarah Arsaham draw an offside penalty?
Gray with a quick play of the ball. And on the back of that, it's the Rabbitohs that are rolling. Now Gray again, inside to Arsaham, who's left another one on her backside. She's skittling them left, right and centre. Now Thompson. Thompson goes to the line, goes to the flat pass, a juggle and put down by Wall. I don't know about stripped. I thought she just dropped it.
Well, maybe she dropped it. No matter. It's in the hands of the Roosters. Referee called. Hell have to come back.
Called held, but allowed play to continue. So there's there we go.
Learning curve there.
Price out of dummy half.
Bang.
Mato. Well, she's left a couple in her wake as well. There was Swinnell. Again, the Roosters' numbers completely different to what we were given earlier. So there's a few players obviously on the Roosters' side that I do know. I'm able to work that out, but apologies to any that I call incorrectly.
To Revan back.
Traherne out of dummy half. She does a little bit of a dance with Marshall. Before the tackle is completed. Curran at dummy half. Goes to Clare. Clare finds the underneath runner. Good defence over the top. Bush down low. And Swinnell just too long in the tackle for the referee's liking. Well, I thought it was a dominant tackle and she'd earned the right to stay a bit longer, but referee wanted a faster ruck. Blows another penalty to allow the Rabbitohs down into a good field position.
We've got about 6 or 7 minutes in the half. Kickoff was on time.
Tap and go for Robinson. So great opportunity. Up 6 points to 0 on the Craigie Tavern scoreboard. Now taking it forward to Umalu. Bounces away from one. Fends away from another. Put down centre field. 10 out. Curran, short ball to Gray, dummies on the inside, takes it to the line, going to be hard to stop, won't be stopped. Well, Aaliyah Gray's been sensational for the Rabbitohs. Quick play the balls, bit of ball playing skill there, just holds up some numbers there, shows some strength to pull through some tackles, and wasn't going to be denied.
Well, I don't know who it was on her left there, but as soon as she broke through that one, she was all away because she had her left side free, and that's what she put down. Nona Bush was behind in the tackle. There's not much you could do from behind when you got the chalk in front of you. But as soon as she broke that one on the left, she just had to burrow her way over the line. And momentum carried her over.
Charlie Thompson, again, should be pretty happy with a try scorers. I think
right in front.
In the game against Victoria, they might have been all out on the sideline. But so far here tonight, they've been scoring right under the post, or just beside. Pretty simple by her standards. She stabs at that.
Send your complaints to
yeah.
Mockering tonight, I reckon. I'll tell you what, speaking of the stats, man, we have put, well, you have. I've only done a handful, Don. You've done lots of mockers tonight.
Well, she just stabbed at that kick.
She did too, didn't she? Yeah, it wasn't the greatest effort.
Did no follow through. She just kind of toe punted it. It was maybe in honour of the new Bears coach. Mal Meninga was an old toe punter as a goal kicker. Tried to use the new Bears coach as inspiration, but I don't know whether she'll do that again.
Wouldn't have thought so. She's not. If anything, Kaylee Thompson is. She's not someone that does or makes a mistake or the same mistake twice. That is for sure. In fact, usually if she does make a mistake, she's back at the same situation and she gets angry. She's an angry player. I love it. Well,
you got knock on Fremantle is the call from the referee. Queenie Curran went back. It looked like she knocked it backwards and then got tackled before she actually had the ball. It might have been the call, but the referees found a knock on against the Roosters. Despite Runga saying there was no touch.
So, it's 10 years, Don. 10 years. Thank you, PA. 10 years since WA took the double. 2016 was the last time. So that's 10 years. Yeah, that's 10 years, technically. So it's been a decade. What a time to do it.
Fantastic to see.
Of course, that means if you're watching all those in NRL HQ, that means we're going to have the championships here next time, doesn't it? Not
surely.
Three full bloody times, sorry. In a
surely.
row. And Victoria. It's time to bring them home to WA.
Well, I've been in Western Australia a long time. I don't think I've ever seen them here. Leach.
Good time to have them.
Out to Thompson. Thompson putting some pressure on the fullback, and it's taken really well there by Ratene. Well, that wasn't an easy catch. So Roosters getting out of dummy half towards the back end of this first 30. The Rabbitohs leading 10 points to 0 on the Craigie Tavern scoreboard. As Grimes gets smashed. Well, Robinson.
Just missed that.
Well, it was something off the ball there from the Roosters. I think it was
call over and have a chat.
A player that just came out and has pushed one of the Rabbitohs players.
Yep.
Not happy with that tackle. Couldn't catch too much of that conversation, unfortunately, but just a bit of a warning on the run. There's been a few things going against the Roosters, and the Rabbitohs a big chance here. Right at the back end of this half is Robinson getting up quickly there. Runga makes an important tackle. Play it back to Leach. Dummying to the outside, taking it up. Paseni Grinnell. Assam with the crash play and Runga.
Good tackle.
Well, I mean, she's decided that it's her responsibility to make those tackles. It comes out to Ruruanaki, steps inside one, spins away towards the line. The Roosters, they get plenty of numbers there. The two number ones come together. Leach from dummy half. Fires it out to Thompson. Thompson charged down by Horner. Horner pursues it, gets to the ball, dives on it. And it's going to be a penalty to the Roosters, tackled without the ball. So grabbed hold of it. That's a good call.
Yep, 100%.
Grabbed her before she actually had possession. So a penalty to the Roosters, but a big play there from Caddy Horner.
Massive with the siren due to blow any second. They haven't had much ball inside Rabbitohs' end, have they?
They haven't. They've been their own worst enemy, though, at times. They've given away quite a few penalties when they've been in possession. But now they've got a couple back-to-back.
I want to go quick here.
Well, they know the siren is coming as well. Runga's going to kick into touch, try and get as much territory as they can to give themselves a chance to attack before the siren sounds here at Admiral Park in the Westpac Women's Premiership. Swinnell, right foot step as she gets to the line. Always hard to put down. Now Nona Bush, dummy to the outside, takes the tackle. Turner Wallace is here to the left. She gets the ball. I think she was meant to be the decoy. Horner is the decoy. Retene sweeping around the back. Good tackle from Traherne. Now with Horner. Horner just a settler late in the count.
Oh!
And the ball comes free. Comes up without it. And the referee says just lost. And that'll be a scrum. And the Rabbitohs, well, that should be enough to see them survive until the half-time siren.
I've got to be honest, Don, I reckon they'd be better than a 10-0 scoreline. I think the score is probably flattering.
I agree. I think that the score is flattering the Roosters. The Rabbitohs haven't really been able to convert their opportunities into points. And that's that's on them. Their last pass hasn't stuck on a few occasions. But they do go in to the break with a 10-0 lead. And, the Roosters, they've had to do a lot of defence as well. So that could tell towards the back end of this game.
Especially coming off the championships as well. We'll have to wait and see how that...
Well, I mean, they've only got a couple of players, I think, that played at the championships. I think the Rabbitohs have probably got a few more. So we'll see if that plays a role as well. The fatigue of that tournament plays a role in the second half. We'll take a break. With the Rabbitohs leading at 10 points to 0. We'll be back with the second half shortly. G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for the second half of the Westpac Women's Premiership. With the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs leading this one 10 points to 0. There's a lot going on around Western Australia at the moment, Dave. Good state of origin in Perth on Wednesday night. That'll be a big occasion.
Huge. Love being involved, especially when the two teams come to town, hanging out with them. Of course, you and I sit in two different camps. That's all right. That's okay. But we didn't get
I'm in the winners' camp and you're in the losers' camp.
Well, currently. Well, I tell you what, as we digress just quickly, we saw the results there from last week in the Westpac Women's Premiership. I'll tell you what, though, and I've said for a while that Queensland's no good outside New South Wales. What this does do, however, is gives the team from Queensland some impetus to actually turn up for Game 2 in Perth, because let's be honest, they've been rubbish the first two times. They've been absolute rubbish.
I think they've been brilliant both times they've been to Perth. I've really enjoyed both games. I've loved the way Queensland have played.
Well, speaking of brilliance, look at the results from last week as we just move on from that, Donny. The Giants, it's good to see the Bulldogs, of course, still a building team. They managed to get over the line twice against the Giants. And the Giants, I think, as you just touched on, the around the ground scores from the earlier game here, they took it to the Bears. I think they're slowly building as well, getting back to where they were. And it could be a three, maybe four-way battle this year. And, of course, the Bears continuing on down the Roosters. That was our game from last week.
Well, of course, the discerning eye might let you know that was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
That was round 5. Round 6.
Round 6, well, there you go.
It was Rabbitohs beat the Giants 18-10 and Willoughby beat the Bulldogs 64-6. But 2 weeks ago, also...
and that's also the wrong team of the week as well. So there you go.
So you got all the round 5, around 5 data.
Yep.
Because the ladder at the moment, I mean, the Willoughby Bears still on top. An important win for them in the game earlier tonight with a 14-10 win over the Giants means that they do stay on top of the ladder regardless of the result in this one. But Ellenbrook, they want to stay in touch. Meanwhile, the Roosters, they're a couple behind Ellenbrook right now. This is second v third. If the Roosters, they do go down in this, that they'll suddenly be 2 wins adrift of second place in third. And tough to run them down from there. The minor premiership, because really important in the Westpac Women's Premiership, Dave.
Oh, absolutely, because you finish top. Of those that don't know, if you finish top in this competition, you go straight through to the decider. So it's which I don't necessarily mind, because it's reward for effort. Yeah, so you get 1 foot in the or 1 foot towards the trophy. But just touching on that, they haven't. You mentioned they haven't had as many players. In the championship as Ellenbrook. And Ellenbrook have looked a bit off today. But Freo look off as well. They don't look sharp. And again, we mentioned at the half, I reckon the scoreline is flattering the Roosters a little bit as we go to kick off the second.
Well, we'll see the Rabbitohs. I'll start with their famous power game as Naomi Tuimalu with the first carry. Beating a couple of defenders, would-be defenders at that. Zarsam runs into Horner and Nona Bush. Well, nothing would be about their defence. Paseni Grinnell. And another penalty to start the second half. Well, it was already looking a pretty good set from the Rabbitohs to start the half. And now they go right on the attack. Tiura.
Call out to Ted on the live stream. He's making a comment suggesting you should be suggesting that I'm not worthy to be with you, Don. Suggesting you should be part of the NRL ranks on 9 or Fox. I don't necessarily disagree with you, Ted. But what about me?
You're doing a great job as well, mate.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there. Don't you worry about that.
Now Thompson dummies to the outside, takes on the line.
Still
towards
going.
The line. Just wanted it. Just wanted it.
How
and gets
earth did she do that? And she liked it too. I don't know if you just saw that, Dodge. She just let out a scream of joy.
Well, what
And I
about,
think
the,
they
what about the
splayers.
camera work?
Yeah, have a look at this.
Absolutely sublime
watch
camera
this.
work.
Bang. 3 of them. And look, there's a just look at her.
Oh.
She loves it. And for me, it was also the 3 Roosters players she carried with her. As she got up, they just sat there and went, like me, how did that happen? How on earth did that happen?
Well,
she had no right to do that, and if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Kaylee Thompson.
Nothing she does anymore surprises.
No, nothing. She's the unsurprising.
Although that conversion attempt in the first half was a little surprising.
I think she surprised herself.
I'll see as she corrects the technique. Here in the second 30. Well, great start to this second half from the Rabbitohs. A great set to start us off with. They get the penalty. Now they get the 4 points. And they convert it into 6. And suddenly it is 16 points to 0 on the Craigie Tavern scoreboard.
In the context of the game, I think that's a significant advantage too. The Roosters had to be the first to score. Definitely not let the Rabbitohs in inside 2 minutes. Again, straight down. She has a look. You might be able to tell me if that was a West Australian teammate on the ground there. I'm not sure, but I had a look at her opposition. Probably some words exchanged. She loved it.
They're enjoying their rugby league here, that's for sure. We talked on the resumption of this half. We talked about State of Origin. State of Origin's a massive beast. Tends to swallow everything else up. I think it's been lost a little bit that there's an NRL game next weekend, Saturday week. There's an NRL game.
He's talking about Cass, mate.
NRL game.
Talking about Cass.
Well, I know we've been told by Caleb Reedy, talk up the NRL game on the broadcast.
No, we've got Mal Meninga being announced as coach. I must admit I was a little bit disappointed they didn't do that in WA, but
they've got a Q&A with Mal Meninga before the NRL game.
Well, do they?
Yeah, they do. At the ground, at HBF Park. Get there early.
That's fantastic.
And you can have a Q&A. You can watch the Q&A with Mal Meninga.
Awesome.
There's the Dolphins up against Newcastle Saturday week. 3:30 p.m. Get your tickets. Plenty of tickets available. Make sure you support rugby league here in Western Australia.
They are the most well-travelled team in the NRL, the Dolphins. There you go, Caleb. I'll turn that up. I'll talk it up. They've been up in Darwin this year, and they've announced a 3-year partnership up there, taking games to Darwin. I just hope that means they don't forget us here in WA. Of course, we only need one more year, don't we, Don?
That's it.
Teams bringing us.
Then we got it every second week. Well, a great opportunity now for the Roosters to get back into this contest, trailing 16-0 after an error. Now work towards that left-hand side. Corners to the right, they go to the left, they're working a short side. Retene, well, it's snaffled there by Ruanaki. Just standing in the slips cordons. Well, it's not often you see the number ones together, but come together. But we've seen it a couple of times tonight between Retene and Ruanaki.
Now they've got each other's numbers, that's for sure.
They're just following each other around. We've talked about Runga going after Assam, and Frida's just coming back onto the park. So we'll see if Mahinalangi Runga is not too far behind.
This is a better defensive set for the Roosters.
The Rabbitohs struggling to get out of their own end. As Leach finds some space in behind. Well, there was a few Rabbitohs teammates staying in front. Thompson puts boot to ball. Catch and kick in one motion.
That was a risky play. Came off somewhat in the end.
Well, they've managed to manufacture some sort of end of set play there, the Rabbitohs. Nina Retene slow to her feet as we get underway with Price now. The ball's free, the ball's loose, the ball's out. Strip is the call.
Whoa.
Kaylee Thompson complained for a second before she gave herself away.
There was a deliberate attempt at a strip, but I think that was just the ball hitting the deck, to be honest. But that's what it is.
Well, I think she tried to complain and then she gave herself away, I think, Carly Thompson. It's Marshall. Turns that underneath. Martor. Marshall again takes it to the line. Assam makes the tackle. Now Runga. Ball held up, intercepted, and away she goes. It's with Robinson. Robinson, she's looking for a speedster, can't find one. Fisher loomed up, but just a second too late.
It's just their structure there on that pass. The Roosters was horrible.
Well, great intercept now, Traherne. Because Emerson Robinson, she's had some knee trouble, and that was all put to the test. There is Ruru Inaki. Runs into Horner. Horner's not letting go.
She doesn't look tired.
Leach, a bit of a bobble, but gets away with it, and it's with Gray. Gray put down late in that tackle. Runga hitting her down low. Now Claire fires the long pass. And great hand from Tatiana Fisher. Touch judge, I don't think, is happy. Touch judge is called forward.
Oh, tell you what.
He stood in the field of play and said, no, I'm not happy with that. You see him walking backwards.
Speaking of...
You'll see the touch judge walk backwards in this replay.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, forward. Yep.
Clear indication.
Yeah, he's gone straight to his comps. But I tell you what, slip, couldn't catch. Wow.
A lot was asked of her. Full length forward to catch it.
A lot was asked of her.
It was great pass that Tom Brady would have been proud of. Now the Roosters working down a short side. Retene gets it out wider. Traherne gets across along with Stevens to make the tackle. That one turned underneath, and it's with Turner Wallace. Put down by Gray. Run up. That one again was in trouble there. Fisher was looking for that intercept. They're going backwards with the ball here, the Roosters. And the Rabbitohs are swarming. It's Wall that finishes up with the tackle. Runga goes from dummy half. And slipping up high, they get a penalty that they needed. They desperately needed. Well, it's actually a penalty for offside, not the high tackle.
I was going to say, did she know it was that late in the count? Maybe she did. It's how she drew that penalty.
Runga taps. Had Swinnell on her outside shoulder. Just takes the tackle. Off the mark, though. Will be sent back to have another go at playing it, which allows the Rabbitohs defensive line to set. Now Swinnell gets through the tackle of Leach. Gives Claire a piggyback ride. And Wall makes the tackle down low. The ball hits the deck. Picked up now by Price. Price tries to use the speed to get around Traherne. You're going to need plenty of it to burn her. Oh, another one slipping up high. This time it's Gray with the high tackle. That one's going to give a fat lip. As the Roosters will step up to take the tap. Leach gets bumped off. Not getting rid of Frida Assam though. Perryman out of dummy half. Runga spills it. Picked up by Fisher. Well, just a fundamental error. Hands over possession. The Rabbitohs, they've been doing a bit of defence, but still coming up with a dangerous pass inside their own end. Now a knock on. And it'll be a Roosters scrum feed. Well, I would have thought that the Rabbitohs might have had a simple set, try and get out of their own end and get to a kick. But they try and do a bit too much with it, and can they, in the end, come up with a pretty simple error.
Again, I think 16-0. I think, again, that's flattering the Roosters. They haven't been great today. The Rabbitohs, they just look like they need to dust off the dust.
Well, a try here, and it'll be game on. Swinnell gets it offload away late, and the Roosters knock on. So, first tackle option to force a pass out the back from Swinnell, unable to be handled.
Disjointed, Don, that's the word I'm going to use. Everything just looks disjointed like this. There's nothing's flowing from either team.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot that the Roosters do seem to be missing quite a few players, particularly in key positions from the teams that we have seen earlier in the year. And I think we saw a bit of that in the DABSCO Premiership up in Darwin earlier. The Bears missing a lot of their spine players, and were a bit disjointed, but came back to win. I don't know whether the Roosters will be able to do the same as Samantha Traherne again, getting away down that right-hand touchline. And they need plenty of speed to run her down. Gray rolls over on the ball. Play it back to Leach. Leach has just got a little action that always looks like she's knocked it on every time she gets to dummy half. It's just a little extra pump that she's got in her mannerism at dummy half. Basseni Brunel gets a little bit of a leg pull. Now Assam. Sarah's been great. Stepped right up as Thompson puts boot to ball. Never easy to take, but the Roosters have handled those high kicks pretty well.
They have, actually. She almost took that with her mouth there as well, so you'd almost hear it.
It hasn't always been clinical or out of any coaching manual, but all the catches have counted. Now the Roosters trying to work it out of their own end with Price. Beats one, beats two. It's a good run. Comes in to take some pressure off the forwards. And gets them heading in the right direction. Now Mato. Again having a giggle with Thompson.
So is that a high tackle?
Yeah, it's a high tackle.
Tell you what, though, I think they were in the lead up. They were testing the boundaries there. The Rabbitohs, just a couple of flailing arms around the neck. I'm surprised you didn't call that earlier. They've got a score here.
Well, as I say, if they can score here, they'll give us a real contest. Turner Wallace gets to dummy half. Nona Bush turns it underneath the Mato.
She was held.
Sent back to the mark to play it. Turner Wallace again trying to push Nona Bush wider.
No one there. Oh,
yeah, but that's where she wanted to throw the pass. She wanted to go wider, and everyone just cramped her for room. So gets it out to Retene. Now they come back towards the left-hand side as the Rabbitohs. Gray and Gray in the tackle. Hung around in behind her own player, putting a kick in that looks far too big. Trying to get that one to the top of the hill here at Admiral Park. And I don't think that's exactly the objective of that kick.
No, it's too much sauce in that one. Tomorrow, big, as it always is, Donny, big Saturday in Rugby League. Of course, we've got well, we're back here again, actually. We are too. It's the
Northern Derby.
Giants. It's the Giants hosting the Sea Eagles. The Giants are on the rise. Hopefully it's not one of their mid-FIFO cycles.
The M&D awareness round.
Yes, it is, yep. And then if you're in the north, the Chico Motlop Shield. Should be a classic. The team and the boys up there will be hosting that one. All live on NRL Pathways. And then a massive week of the league in WA.
Huge week coming up. Huge week coming up. It's continuing here tonight. Tuimalu just holding onto a bootlace there, Swinnell. Now it comes out with Clare. Clare then gets it out to Fisher. Fisher, ball back inside. They're playing a bit of razzle-dazzle as Wall is not far away. Clare from dummy half. Paseni Grinnell goes across to Tuimalu. Gray, Thompson. Thompson now kicking to the corner. Traherne, she'll take it. Can she get the pass away? She forces it out the back. Still the last tackle. Dived on and knocked on by Gray. Well, exciting play, but all lands with nothing.
It was just... Yeah, there must be something in the water this week, Don, until when it comes to the Joondalup Giants in Ellenbrook Park, because I can tell you, if you don't know already, there's some goings on here with the some of the league stars that are coming over for the big game. They're hosting a junior session up here at Ellenbrook Park on Tuesday night, I believe, from about 5 till 6:30.
Is that
we'll be there as well. In some
Blues
form.
or Queensland? Or?
That's a very good question. I'm not entirely sure. the team at the NRL hasn't given me all the details, but Junior Rugby Clinic.
Well,
Super Clinic, they're calling it.
Sure to be some superstars.
I don't know if it's an invite only, but I've just invited you if you're listening, if you're a junior. And then the same day, we've got a beach touch event at Rockingham Beach. Just hope it does bloody rain down there. But 10 a.m. to 1 on Tuesday. So there's plenty of stuff going on.
Make sure you stick to social media like glue over the coming days, because there's going to be events galore.
And then, of course, the captain's runs as well. Can't forget those. They're always well attended from both camps.
Again, the details of them will be all over NRLWA social media platforms. I'm sure the clubs will let you know as well. Whichever club you're part of or follow. There's the Roosters. They're taking it forward. Going to the line, putting the high kick up. Ruanaki takes it well. Horner chasing through, makes a good tackle, but just flopping in late, giving away an unnecessary penalty. Well, there was a good chase, a good kick, and then flopping in to just let the Rabbitohs out.
Well, I think this half has been better. I want to say slightly better for the Roosters. They just haven't been able to score. I mean,
they've been down this end
I was about to
a
say,
lot more than they were in the first half.
Playing more footy down Rabbitohs end, that's for sure.
And they haven't really looked like scoring.
No.
And that would be the disappointing thing, I think, from a Roosters perspective.
And even worse is the ball's only been up the other end 2 or 3 times. And Rabbitohs every time look like they're going to score.
Well, there's another chance of further extending this 16-0 lead. Curran back into dummy half. Clare shows it on the outside, gives it on the inside. It's with Wall beating one, finds a front, wanted a quick play the ball. But the Roosters control that ruck. Slow it down. Now to Thompson. Traherne again skipping to the outside, gives a pass to Gray. Running a good line. Now Thompson goes to the line, makes eye contact, but kicks not executed perfectly to Fisher. Fisher, good footwork though, beats another. Fisher still going, stands in the tackle and will have to hand that ball over.
I'll tell you what, she did better than she had the right to. I mean, you mentioned that kick, sort of asked a bit more. Wasn't great, but she got further than she should have.
You saw Thompson sort of got the ball, made eye contact in terms of who she was aiming at.
She had space.
Just didn't quite execute the kick that she had in her mind. And Tatiana Fisher almost turned a poor kick into a result. She's had a few chances to hit the scoreboard in this second half because the forward pass denying it not that long ago. The Roosters trying to get out of their own end, and they're under a bit of pressure, defensive pressure this time. There's Nona Bush. Quick play, the ball looks to straighten the attack. Turner Wallace wasn't really ready, and they do put the kick down. Now Stevens and Horner again leading the charge. Makes the tackle. Ruranaki goes to Traherne, stands up Horner. Well, there was an ankle breaker from Sam Traherne.
More than one. She's drawing the offside, is she?
Oh, chat.
No, bit of chat.
Chat.
Maybe
doesn't want to hear it.
They were just impressed by that run. The referee just, I think, just having a chat there to the skipper saying, none of that, please.
Yep.
Assam again.
Assam.
Drags half the side.
She's really stepped up. Of course, knowing that a lot of her teammates have had a big week. She stepped up and shouldered probably a bit more load than she normally would, although she's always a hard worker for a team.
Ask the stats about how many metres gained.
So Tukiwaho tries to crash over. Curran at dummy half. A good quick play the ball. They go out wide over the shoulder there of Thompson. Marshall has dived on it, and that's going to be a knock-on against the Rabbitohs. Well, again, the execution from Ellenbrook has left a bit to be desired tonight as well. You've said a few times the 16-0 scoreline flatters the Roosters, but it's all the Rabbitohs deserve too, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't finished well. They don't look as polished as... Look, and that's to be expected given where half the team... Not half the team, where a large portion of the team has been. I don't want to use the word hangover, but there would be a bit of a...
Well, there would have been some celebrations.
There would have been some celebrations.
I'll give you the hot tip.
Absolutely no doubt about that.
There's Traherne, so that actually was ruled as a knock-on against the Roosters. There's Claire, dummy on the outside from Tiaroa, and gets to the line. Well, there was limited celebrations. I wasn't sure she got there, but she's all smiles now.
Not sure if she
Natalia Tiaroa, as we have a look at the replay, just gets to the outside shoulder, hits the hole, and gets the ball down.
I just finished talking about that scoreline, Don. They've added another.
Goes out to 20-0.
Look, it hasn't been a dominant performance. They haven't dominated them. But
well, they've been by far the better team.
By far the better team.
But, I can say with a bit of certainty that I don't think the Rabbitohs will be overly... It's not one that they'll put in their scrapbook.
No. And I think
it's a pretty full scrapbook.
And it's one of those... Look, I was looking forward to this game. It was an important clash, especially in context of the ladder. And you pointed out a few times the differential and the gap and points that'll come from this game. It was an opportunity for the Roosters to show their worth against what we think is the best team at the moment.
Oh, and a sideline conversion. Well, she's making up for the... What was that from right in front earlier tonight?
Well,
she's missed.
It hit the post and made a dong noise, so I'll call it a ding-dong.
Well, it's been that kind of week for Kaylee Thompson. She knocks that one over from the touchline. She's kicked 3 from 4. It's only that one from in front that she's missed, and
I should look back on that fondly then. She's had a good tournament with the boot, as you mentioned, Don.
Because another one of those players making the combined affiliated states and territories merit team. A few Roosters seem to be in front of that kickoff, but I think the referee's happy to let that one go. As the Rabbitohs come from the back fence. With Talmia. Now Tuimalu up over halfway on tackle 2. Well, they're not done with yet. They want more to be added to this scoreline as Curran works to the right-hand side. Now with Robinson. Stands in the tackle. Plays it quickly. Curran to Thompson. Now to Gray. Gray out the back. And now with Ruruanaki, who puts on the afterburners, and Horner. Well, desperation sliding defence from her. They get out of dummy half and it comes again. And Tiaroa falls over. She just tripped over her own feet there, centimetres short of the line. On 5, Claire to Thompson. Ruruanaki wraps around. Robinson looks to stand up her opposite. Goes back infield. It's still tackle 5. Robinson, they're going to wrap up the ball. Robinson gets it out to Curran. Curran to Thompson. They go to Ruruanaki. She touched it 4 times in this set. Goes to Traherne. And they wrap up the ball. The referee calls held just as she gets the offload away, and they'll hand it over.
We mentioned this in the men's game, the DABSCO Premiership, Don, and then that run into the guts, drawing the defenders in, creating that space on the right-hand side. It was some good coverage, though, that last tackle. If that wasn't made, they were over again.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, again, Katarina Horner, a fantastic defensive player, and that tackle on Ruruanaki when she hit the go button and just went straight through. I thought it was shut the gate time, 100%. But Horner ran her down and makes a really important tackle. And they're working right down to the final siren here, the Roosters, despite the lopsided scoreline against them. Down 22-0 on the Craigie Tavern scoreboard. Turner Wallace, they go back for the kick from inside the 40. Coming forward and taking that one, Fisher. Beats the first chaser, who is Horner, and runs into Retene as the whistle goes. High tackle. Just that one slipping up. And tap and go from Ruruanaki. Gee, she's had some involvement in the last couple of minutes.
Looks like she can go another 60, Don.
No, she desperately wants to hit the score sheet as Thompson puts a little grubber in behind, gets it back, looking for support. She gets Traherne. Traherne steps past Horner, fires a pass out to Fisher. Fisher in and away towards the line, sliding cover defence comes from everywhere.
I tell you what, that deserved a try.
Well, I tell you what, the defence deserves a wrap too. 30 seconds to go, down 22-0. They worked and worked their backsides off from the inside. They had no right to prevent that from being a try, but they do.
I would say that's the best patches of play of the game. That's pretty good.
And that is the full-time siren sounding. The Ellenbrook Rabbitohs, they will march on and stay in touch with the Willagee Bears, who are on top of the ladder. The Rabbitohs, they consolidate second place with a 22-0 win over the third-place Roosters.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you probably put a line through that for as far as both. Look, obviously the Rabbitohs...
Yeah, I'm not going to follow that form.
No. The Rabbitohs are happy to come away with the points. The Roosters, however, again, missing some players. Rabbitohs, a fair few that went to the Cass Championship, so they're a bit rusty. Both teams sort of finding each other at the wrong time, Don, really.
Well, I'm sure they'll get another chance later on in the season. Yeah. To see better of them, but I think both teams do have better in them. But it's a good performance, as you say. I think the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs will be very happy to walk away with a 22-0 win over the Roosters.
Absolutely, but I don't think we learned a lot about that. There's still plenty of. What are we only round 7?
I didn't write that down.
I should know that, shouldn't I? We've still got plenty of footy to
Plenty of footy to go. Round 7, yeah. Round 6 was last week.
Yep, and of course we've got some buys coming up as well, with some top-tier footy coming in. Nothing more top-tier than what's happening on Wednesday. But for those that are watching, and if you're still with us from the NT, thank you very much. Tomorrow, it's the Fuel to Go and Play Premiership. We're back here again. It's the Giants hosting the Seagulls. I'll be very interested to see if Joondalup can continue their semi-rise.
The Seagulls in sensational form as well. They can score some points.
Trying to catch the top placed Lions at the moment, and then of course in Darwin, actually they're kicking off I think 30 minutes before us. Darwin, it is the Chico Motlop Shield, the memorial game, and the entire team of Kyle, Chris, Cam and Axe will be on hand for that. And then we've got a massive week of rugby league in Western Australia, as it always is. Don, last word to you.
I don't think it's always quite this big,
No.
Dave, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow, I'm sure. State of Origin on Wednesday. We've got the NRL coming next week, so it's a huge, huge week coming up. But we'll talk plenty about that tomorrow. And results today in the DABSCO Premiership up in the Northern Territory. Top of the table clash, the Litchfield Bears stay on top with a 28-26 win over Brothers. And here in the Westpac Women's Premiership, the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs defeating the Fremantle Roosters 22 points to 0. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.